Now, prior to the election of the Malinowskis government, the local food land would have been open. The even Woolworths would have been open because Rob Lucas was giving out those exemptions. The local IGA, which was the only supermarket within probably 5 k's of where I live, that's now legally allowed to open on an actual public holiday, it looked like a Soviet era shopping experience. There were 2 staff working, and they were working like blue backsided flies. The queue to get served was 20 people deep. I'm not kidding, 20 people deep.
Ridiculous.
The fruit and veg section, I reckon all that was left was some celery, a few punnets of strawberry, some pretty sad-looking lettuces piled up. But the whole joint had just been cleaned out. It's crazy the way it sort of changed so fast. Tommy Wren's walked into the studio. He's wrapped himself entirely in rosary beads. He's got a rabbit's foot. He's praying.
You know what?
How are you, Tom?
I was in Sydney for the Uruguay penalty shootout, 15 years ago, whatever it was. And that was the most nervous I've been. I'm so nervous for Craig Goodwin. He's been subbed on specifically for this penalty shootout, the Adelaide United star, Andrew Redmayne. This is why Graham Arnold gets paid the big bucks, right? So he's brought on Andrew Redmayne, who hasn't played all match, specifically for this penalty shootout. How's the pressure?
Yeah, subbing off Australia's most decorated footballer.
Matt
So it's
Ryan.
Martin Boyle who steps up to take the first. Born in Scotland. He's been a real find of this qualification campaign, Martin Boyle. He's probably was Socceroos' best in the first 45 minutes as well. Created a lot from the right wing. He's going to be the man who goes first.
I like this from Al on the text line, on the Automasters text line. He says that the players should do rock, paper, scissors instead of kicking penalties.
I think that'd be about just
Makes
as fair.
as much sense. All right, here we go.
Martin Boyle.
He's missed.
He's been saved. It was a neat height for the goalkeeper, sort of an in-between height, and he put it to the goalkeeper's right, who made the ground and made the save. So Peru with the perfect start at the penalty shootout. My word.
Special comments coming in from my son Jim at home. He says that's not good.
Geez, it was a tight penalty because he didn't get it anywhere near the post, and it looked a neat height, but it wasn't far to the keeper's right at all. So
he got the staggers walking in. But it's all mental.
It's so
evil.
mental.
It's all what's happening between your ears.
He got it on target, but Will's right. It was you need to either put it low on the ground or you need to absolutely bury it top corner.
Here comes Peruvian number 1.
Well, Andrew Redmayne has a chance to make himself and Graham Arnold a hero in this. This would be a story more extraordinary than John Aloisi, based on where we're at right now and the story of Andrew Redmayne coming on in the 119th minute, and it's 1 to Peru.
That's as clinical as you get. When you hit that side netting, that means it's just about unstoppable, and he has buried that. Have a look at the replay here. Goes to Redmayne's right, and it's just about in the corner.
Picked the right side, didn't he?
He's a big boy, Redmayne, but he's going to have to guess right at one stage, and huge pressure now on this second spot kick. I mean, if they miss this one, the Socceroos, Aaron Moy, it looks like, stepping up to take it. If they miss this one, goodness, it's going to be hard. That's a long way back.
I don't know. We shouldn't get too stressed yet, because often sides take a roaring lead in penalty shootouts and then they capitulate.
Wonder where Aaron Moy's legs are at. He hadn't played a competitive game before the last qualifier since January with the Chinese league locked out. So he's played more than he's had in a long time. Didn't show it there, 1-1.
That was a good one. The keeper gets the right way, but the penalty was just too good, and that's how you take it. You've got to pick your spot, and then you've just got to, really put everything behind it, and that's what he did. Great penalty there from Aaron Moy.
So 1-1.
1-1, but
Peru
have obviously had.
And just to make this clear, we're not broadcasting this at the moment, are we?
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Because here's what's going to happen coming up a little bit later. We're going to be talking about the Gawler line opening officially yesterday, but today will be the first. Oh, sorry, on Sunday. Today's the first peak hour. Sam's down there, and he'll be bringing you across how that all plays out today. There's a lot of festivities the state government's planned. They're really laying on a spread, as I understand it. So there you go. That's normal programming.
Yeah,
still going on. As we always would, we'd always be talking at length about a Socceroos fixture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Totally organically.
The Gawler line is one of South Australia's oldest political promises, isn't it?
It is. You
can almost carbon date that one.
You can.
That's good that Sam's out there.
1-1 in the penalty shootout. Socceroos have missed. 1. Peru's second spot kick. Andrew Redmayne dancing on the line, but does not enough to put off the Peruvian, number 22, who makes it 2-1. Geez, they've looked quite assured on the spot,
haven't they?
Peru.
Yeah, and Redmayne there just held his line. He tried to just sort of stay put, and the players often go straight down the middle, and I think Redmayne was waiting for that, but that was a well-taken spot kick. He goes to Redmayne's left this time, and pressure now back on the Socceroos. They trailed 2-1 after the opening 2 penalties. So 3 to go still for both sides. So not out of it yet, but have to score here.
Hey, looking forward to tonight. We've got our MasterChef dinner. This is going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to meeting all of the listeners who won last week's dinner tonight at Melt.
Adelaide's own Craig Goodman. I can't watch this.
This is excruciating. He's been brought on 10 seconds from full time, from extra time, to take this penalty. How's the pressure? He doesn't even have any sweat because he hasn't done any work out on the pitch.
Come on, Goody.
Come on, Goodwin, you've got to finish.
Come on, Goody.
How are the nerves beat? He comes in, staggering, stuttering, run up. He's buried it. He's hit that into the roof of the net.
That had menace.
Can he take all 5?
I thought that was going over the bar.
Wow.
That was so
He
elevated.
just
that
about
kick.
kicked the net off. That was confident.
That was huge.
How high up did it get?
Goody.
You don't get much better than that. Jackson Irvine applauding that spot kick. You just hope it doesn't come down to that one miss from Boyle at the start. But there's still 3 that Peru have to convert. So Redmayne, he looks big and gangly. Just needs to guess the right way one time, and he's a huge chance to stop it.
Here comes Mr. Angry Pants. I didn't like this guy earlier. He's a stroppy little so-and-so. I don't know his problem is.
You know what? Oh, no, I don't want to even say it. The Socceroos played so well in the first 90 minutes of this game. I think they were 4-1 underdogs, and they didn't play like it. They played like the better side. This just feels like, it always feels like a lottery. So here we go. Redmayne looking large.
Yes! It's the post!
Oh, he did enough, Redmayne, dancing on the line. It's all square in the shootout, but we're not calling it, of course.
No, we're not.
This is all part of normal programming with the Weather Bureau coming up in a moment too.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, well that was an excellent moment, and police as well will get us across what's been transpiring overnight.
That was Louis Advincula, the right back. So
he was angry.
He was angry.
Remember I called it. His state of mind wasn't right.
He's a stroppy little bloke.
I'll tell you what, he's not going to be too happy after that one either.
No. Well, this is Aiden Hrustic,
the hero of the last match.
That's right, and he has come off a big penalty for Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League final. So he's hit one recently.
He knows how to do it.
With a lot of pressure.
Come on.
He's got a beautiful left foot, Aiden Hrustic. And as he stands over it, he's got the potential of putting the Socceroos ahead in the shootout for the first time, and he does. He just dribbles it into the corner.
Ceiling piece.
Waited for the keeper to move. Held his nerve. 3-2, Socceroos first lead. First time bit of pressure on Peru. Not calling it, of course, because coming up a little bit later, Phil Curry from the Australian Financial Review as well, which you wouldn't hear in a normal call of a sporting event.
Exactly.
He'd be pretty happy with the way the Blues are going at the moment, I imagine.
Yeah, he would be.
Delighted with Carlton. They're going along magnificently.
Up and about. Geez, Melbourne are in a bit of strife, aren't they? They look like the wheels are falling off.
I
like the Titus O'Reilly tweet yesterday. Maybe they will need to go out for a nice dinner to work through their issues. Find a nice French restaurant somewhere.
Oh, yeah, look, they'll get Stephen May back, but things are just all of a sudden starting to, the wheels maybe just getting a little bit wobbly. Not falling off just yet, but not looking great. Here we go.
Here comes Peruvian number 4.
Redmayne's dancing routine. He's back underway. The shifting feet. Is it enough? No. 3-3. We're all square again.
Is he dancing around a bit too much? Should he just stand there and pick a side?
I've not seen anyone quite as theatrical on the line. You know, obviously, you're not allowed to come forward. Oh, geez, he picked the right way too.
He just went a bit low, didn't he? Renato Tapia just had enough elevation on the spot kick there to convert there for Peru. So 3-3. It's now sudden death. It's, the 5th and final. If one misses and the other one scores, it's all over either way. I mean,
this is it.
This is it. 2.5, 3-year campaign comes down to this moment.
Jamie McLaren, the A-League Golden Boot winner for Melbourne City. Oh, come on, Jamie. Stints in Scotland, back here in the A-League, came off the bench.
Oh,
scores!
He's got it.
Oh, that was a big moment.
So all the pressure is on Peru now.
Yep, so if Peru miss here...
Australia in the World Cup.
Australia in the World Cup. It all comes down to this moment. Great penalty
and if
again.
they don't miss, we keep going.
We keep going, and it's just everyone has
This could be the wildest 3 hours of radio ever with us not calling the game.
Well, we've had penalty shootouts where Liverpool played. I reckon there was one where it went to 13 or 14, so the players all had to have a shot. The keepers ended up shooting as well.
Then their parents came on.
Yeah, that'd be good. In fact, everyone in the country has to have a shot until you miss.
So here they go again.
Okay,
This guy looks like a nervous wreck.
He is. He was a substitute for Peru, in fact. He came on in the second half.
He's a
Left
cock case. Look
winger.
at him. He's got no idea.
What's he going to do with dancing Redmayne?
Come on.
Making
Come on.
moves.
Come on.
Trying to get in his head. Redmayne can make himself, his manager, a hero. And he's put it away. It's all square in the shootout. It's now sudden death in the shootout. Jeez, we had a really awkward freeze of the
Transo.
the old transmission there for a moment. Okay, so what we'll do is we're not staying with it. We're just having the sort of normal conversation we'd be having at the start of the program, of course. 0448081395 is the Automasters text line number. Someone said, guys, not happy with our dancing clown keeper. Well, let's just wait. Let's just wait and see how it plays out, okay?
I like the text from Brian as well. Guys, since you're not meant to be calling the game, you're doing a great job calling the game. Thank you for that,
I'm
Brian.
not sure what he's talking about there. Just the normal conversation we'd be having on a Tuesday morning.
That's
in
right.
Adelaide.
Well, it's topical, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
you know,
It's in the news.
Yeah,
Here comes
that's right.
Mobile.
A1 Babil, of course, got his start here at Adelaide United before going off to Denmark. Just recently signed in Spain. Another substitute. So it's a lot of the fresh legs that we've seen take penalties. at this
He
point
was
in time.
sensational in the last 10 minutes of normal time, the 90 minutes. He created a lot down that left wing and caused some real issues, but huge moment for him. I mean, we had one former Adelaide United player step up beautifully, Craig Goodwin. Now it's A1 Mobile's turn. Hopefully he can come good here when they really need him. He's had a really good campaign with the Socceroos lately.
Come on, Awa.
Huge pressure.
It got locked away. It's a sudden death situation. Mobile doesn't make any mistake.
So again, all the pressure's back on Peru.
Yep. Well, that's the beauty of going first. If you keep scoring, then the next player that steps up. And when you get to this stage, Pembo, these are the players now that aren't the recognised penalty takers. So they're going through the lineup. You're not allowed to take a second one until everyone's had one. So they're more your defenders now, players that aren't used to taking penalties normally at all. They would have practiced for this, but there's nothing like being in the real thing.
No.
This is about the time that if you're the 10th best penalty taker in the side that got picked, you're thinking, oh no.
Yeah. Don't.
Is this going to get to me? Can someone just miss? Let's hope it's this
It's
bloke.
just horrible. This poor bloke. Let's hope it's him.
This is all the mind games that get played too at this time where people ask for a respot of the ball to try and break up people's rhythms. Redmayne jumping off the line and getting warned just so people can't get comfortable. You've got to stand over the ball for a long time. So here he's done a bit of scarecrow work, Redmayne, and... Yes! It's enough! Australia are in the World Cup! Andrew Redmayne's a hero! Not calling the game, of course.
I'm broken the glass.
Andrew Redmayne! Graham Arnold was written off. He's made one of the great coaching decisions in the history of sport, subbing the Australian captain and Matt Ryan, bringing Andrew Redmayne, who's a hero they've gotten around him.
Oh, poor Basilio. I think it was Gabriel Basilio for Peru.
Oh, my God.
Has hit the penalty.
That
It was
poor
on
bloke.
target, but Redmayne has picked the right way. They have come from the clouds.
my goodness!
How good is that? Australia through to a 5th World Cup in a row.
Little beauty.
And that was Sport with Tom Wren. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Jane, Nursing Director at Flinders Medical Centre. I see many patients who are healthy and double vaxxed and thought they were fully protected against COVID. They didn't realise the vaccine effectiveness fades over time, along with their immunity to COVID. This winter, remember, double vaxxed isn't fully vaxxed, and a third shot is your best shot at not catching COVID, spreading COVID, or ending up in hospital. Book your third COVID shot now.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
Cue the fireworks. Southern Mitsubishi is celebrating the end of financial year with a bang. Ooh, that one's pretty. I like that one. The team at Southern Mitsubishi will light up your life with huge savings across the entire Mitsubishi range, all designed to thrill. Don't miss your chance to start the new financial year on a high. Visit Southern Mitsubishi and save. 147 Main South Road, Morford Vale, driven by by Australian Motors, LVD80.
Best of SA is all about celebrating the iconic businesses that shape our community.
That's right. The story behind BET Group is incredible. When the CEO, Emily Corrier, had a stroke in 2012, life as she knew it changed.
On the road to rehabilitation, the family experienced how tough it is finding accessible accommodation and how uninviting it can be. So in 2016, Emily and her husband Bernard decided to change the narrative.
Now, BET Group is an NDIS provider that's made a difference in many South Australian lives, drawing on their lived experience to provide supported, independent living in stylish and homely accommodation so people with disabilities can live well and thrive.
Everyone living with a disability faces unique barriers, so choice and independence are at the core of everything BET Group does. You can learn more or reach out at betgroupglobal.com.au.
We lost Dad to prostate cancer.
Breast cancer nearly took Mum away.
My little brother is living with leukemia.
My pa caught his bowel cancer early.
Make your donation as personal as your story. You can target the cancer that's hurt you most with Cancer Council SA. Learn more or donate at cancersa.org.au.
AEG Power Tools goes big this tax time. Bundle the 58-volt mower, blower and line trimmer kits and get over $1,500 worth of instant bonuses, including 4 batteries. Exclusive to AEG On-Site. Visit aegpowertools.com.au. T's and C's apply.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
Jump in my car.
5AA Breakfast, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jump in my car.
28 minutes after 6, my voice is gone, I'm done. It's 28 minutes after 6 and Australia has qualified for the World Cup at a penalty shootout. The most dramatic circumstances went to sudden death. Let us know what you think if you're up and watching at 8223 0000. You can text us as well on the Automasters text line 0448 08 1395.
I got to say, I feel so sorry for Peru. I'm thrilled that we're through, but just looking at the shots of the Peruvians, there's a handful of Socceroos fans there in Qatar. It looks like half of Lima jumped on the first plane.
Oh,
it's like a Peruvian home game, and they are sobbing.
It's a public holiday today in Peru to watch the game because they say it is such a significant sporting event. Nobody should have to work.
Yeah, and well, you know what a day it's going to be there now because. You know, you have the entire 24 hours to wallow in your misery. But, I mean, it means so much more to people in Latin America than it does to people here in Australian soccer. And just looking at them, they look like there's been a death in the family. It's just shocking. But, yes, not so here. Total joy. Extraordinary.
And lots of texts coming through. Just so we're clear on the terminology, folks, this last half hour was entirely between us, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
And
this never happened.
This never, right? So we're going to start again at 6:30.
Yes.
And, okay, there's a bit of solidarity amongst breakfast listeners, please. 5AA News time. We'll be back with more in a sec.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers increasing 17 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Physio Extra hands-on physio at 6 locations. Even more convenient now with online bookings at physioextra.com.
In breaking news, Australia is through to the World Cup after a dramatic penalty shootout against Peru. Substitute keeper Andrew Redmayne, the hero, with a save to allow the Socceroos to win 5-4 and advance to their 5th straight World Cup campaign. Tom Wren will have all the details in sport. Shop trading hours on public holidays are back in the spotlight. The city and suburbs were granted exemptions this time last year to trade on the holiday Monday under the Marshall government. But the new state government's stance on public holiday trading meant only Rundle Mall was open for business yesterday. These people have told Seven it was disappointing to see the shops closed in the metro area.
I'm used to big cities not really closing for anything.
I'm originally from Sydney, everything's open.
It's weird, but I mean, at least they get the day off.
Meth and a large amount of cash has been seized at Gilman. The car was stopped yesterday at a driver testing site. The driver, a 34-year-old from Burton, allegedly tested positive for meth. Police reportedly locating a machete in the side of the driver's seat and an amount of meth in the centre console. The man was also searched and found to have a large amount of cash on him. The driver and passenger have been bailed to front court at a later date. The inquiry into the storming of the US Capitol has heard former President Donald Trump lit the fuse for the attack. The panel is focusing on former President Donald Trump's unfounded accusations the presidential election was rigged. Committee Chair Benny Thompson says Mr. Trump decided to wage an attack on US democracy.
He didn't have the numbers. He went to court. He still didn't have the numbers. He lost. But he betrayed the trust of the American people. He ignored the will of the voters. He lied to his supporters and the country.
Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey will face court in the UK this week after being charged with 4 counts of sexual assault. Ellie Walsh has more.
It's the start of what could be a lengthy trial process for Kevin Spacey. The Hollywood actor is set to appear in a London court on Thursday over multiple allegations of sexual assault. The offences, which involve 3 men, are alleged to have occurred between 2005 and 2013, when the then A-lister was serving as artistic director for a local theatre company. Spacey recently told an American talk show that he denied the charges and would travel to Britain to defend himself.
Coffee and pregnancy may mix. Genetic analysis of thousands of women has found coffee appears to be safe to drink in moderation while expecting. The Queensland team used genetic markers for coffee consumption, cross-matched with birth records, finding no level of caffeine raised the risk of miscarriage, stillbirth or premature birth. Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Tom Wren, have you calmed down yet? Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was epic. It was done the hard way, but what an amazing performance. As we heard earlier with you, Mel, the Socceroos are through to the World Cup following a thrilling penalty shootout victory against Peru. With scores locked at 0-0 after full time and then extra time, it all came down to penalties. Andrew Redmayne with the decisive save to put the team through.
It's all on this for Peru. Alex Valera. And Redmayne makes the save. It's a save that means the world to Australia. It's a save that means the World Cup for Australia.
Unreal audio there, thanks to Channel 10. Let's go to football now, and the Crows and Port will train today ahead of their round 14 matches this weekend. Melbourne coach Simon Goodwin says skipper Max Gawn will benefit from the extended time off after he left the field during yesterday's Queen's Birthday clash with an ankle injury.
4 days off have come at a good time for Max, so I'm sure he'll head down to Blair Gowrie and nestle in front of the fire, but you know, he's got a pretty sore back and a sore ankle and a few knocks, and but he'll be right. He's a big boy, he's the leader of our footy club, and he'll bounce back.
Collingwood beat the Demons by 26 points. And Alex de Minaur has beaten 8th seed American Riley Opelka 6-4, 6-4 in the first round of the Queen's Club tournament in London. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Hitachi Air Conditioners. Be comfortable all year round. Visit hitachieaircon.com.au.
17 today with showers increasing. Showers tomorrow 17 and 17 again on Thursday with showers easing. Right now it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
So I texted him back, I need the truth. I see you tapping on your phone in the morning, smiling ear to ear. You take your van on days I know that you're not booked for painting jobs and come back 8 hours later talking about holidays I thought we couldn't afford. His response? A van, a package and flexed arm emojis. What the hell does that mean?
Use your van to deliver packages with Amazon Flex. It's that something on the side you won't get in trouble for. Search Amazon Flex Vans and sign up now.
Are you game ready? Your local Sports Power store is supporting local footy clubs and players with everything you're going to need for the footy season ahead. With a great range of boots, footwear, balls, training and protective gear from all the big brands like Adidas, Asics, Nike, Puma, New Balance, Sharon and Shock Doctor. So if you want to get game ready, get into your local Sports Power store and check them out. Find your nearest Sports Power store at sportspower.com.au.
We're your local experts, Sports Power.
Adelaide property values are at an all-time high. They've grown by more than 25% over the past 12 months, with really strong buyer demand. In most areas, demand is greater than supply. Vendors are regularly getting multiple offers for homes with sold prices well above expectations.
Now we know that our friends at Toop and Toop work across all suburbs, and we can tell you that right now they're working with 4,928 buyers in Torrens Park, 5,221 in Prospect and 5,011 in Tusmore, and they're all searching for their perfect property in these specific locations.
If you're thinking of selling and would like to know how many buyers Toop and Toop are working with in your suburb, go to toop.com.au.
Hey, it's Callum here. It's not by chance that Edwardstown Mazda is located bang on South Road. They wanted to make it easy to get your car serviced. Any make or model. Make a pit stop at Edwardstown Mazda. It's gotta be edwardstownmazda.com.au.
30 degrees. 23, 10, 0, 0, 0. When's the right time to install a reverse cycle split system? Before the winter chill hits. Fortunately, Polar Air Heating and Cooling can save you hundreds on installation with the government's Retailer Energy Productivity Scheme, thanks to your energy saving solutions. Hurry, we have limited installations available, so secure your incentive allocation today with Polar Air Heating and Cooling. polarairhc.com.au.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
23 to 7, 14th of June. Sports fans will remember the date. People that are into astrology might be across the dates too, because we've got a bright supermoon tonight, which is the portent of something. We'll tell you what in a moment. But first, let's get some texts on the Automasters text line.
One here from Nicole. Let's just say I'm at the gym watching the game and I'm the only one yelling and cheering. I nearly fell off the treadmill. Good on you, Nicole. One from Con. Great penalty, Adelaide boy. Craig Goodwin, and a brave move to put on our sub-keeper. Good on you, Con. Andrew says, go Socceroos, in all caps. Thankfully, I woke up just before the penalty shootout to see it. Glad I woke up so early. Helen says, morning. I cannot stand soccer, but the three of you were just brilliant. Thank you, Helen. And another one here, Rosie, great call, boys.
Now, Rosie.
Wasn't a call, Rosie.
Wasn't a call.
And Jackson says, hi all, great win for the Socceroos. Terrific drama, and the Wriggles keeper was bizarre, but it worked. Getting into the World Cup is huge. I love the AFL, but it never really leaves these shores, but soccer brings Aussie talent to the world just like the Olympics. And Al, who was with us from the start, just says, yes, boys, we bloody did it. Did we ever?
Good on you, Al.
Sensational. Thanks, Al.
All right. Now, let's change.
Let's regroup.
Let's regroup, because there's a lot going on in the world at the moment. There's a lot going on in the universe too. There is a strawberry supermoon. I'm not sure what that means, but the good news is Rose Smith is on the line, an astrologist and spiritualist. Rose, good morning to you.
Hello. How are you going there?
We're good, thanks, Rose. We need to be calmed a bit, though, and it sounds like you might be the person to do it. We've been up since 3 o'clock watching the soccer, and our pulse rate is off the chart, so a bit of tapping into our spiritual side might do us good. Tell us about the supermoon, and firstly, what it is, but also what does it mean for our sort of, state of mind?
Sure, it's anything but calm. I hate to disappoint you. It was shining through my window this morning like some sort of maniacal blowtorch at 4 a.m. So I wasn't watching the soccer or football, whatever you guys were doing. But yeah, it's quite a turbulent time for a lot of people. But there's some positive effects too. It's called a strawberry supermoon or a rose supermoon, and that's because that's the time of the strawberry harvest in the northern hemisphere, apparently. But it's not actually strawberry coloured, of course. And it just means the moon comes much closer to Earth within 360,000 kilometres. So if you think about the effect that the moon has on the tides, of course, a lot of people are going to feel or perceive something going on. So it's a bit of a shake-up for everyone.
I noticed yesterday in the middle of the afternoon the moon was up and it was high in the sky and it was extremely visible. Is that sort of part of the whole supermoon process?
Yeah, because it's closer, it appears brighter and it appears bigger. And so it's going to have a stronger effect on us than it normally does. It's like a full moon on steroids.
Yeah, right.
And, yeah, so I have noticed a lot of technology playing up for me in the last few days. But, yeah, the shining in the window, it's just full on with brightness at the moment. It's in Sagittarius, so, in astrological terms, people could be feeling a mixture of turbulence, but also some positive sort of vibes, like how to expand your life in some way through study or through travel or spirituality, something like that. It's good fortune, good luck, somebody who can give you good advice, like say a mentor or something like that might come into your life, some good things. It's not all, being woken up at 4 a.m.
Well, that'd be nice. Hey, Rose, it sounds like it's good for travellers and people, and I know cruising's back here in Adelaide at the moment, and that'll excite a lot of our listeners. Is it time to book a holiday?
Look, I wouldn't be booking it just yet because we've got the solstice coming up very shortly, 21st, 22nd, and that's the shortest day of the year. It's probably better to stay home, but maybe start thinking, like if those thoughts are coming into your mind about travelling, then maybe start thinking and planning about it. I wouldn't be actually going until the days get a little bit longer.
Good stuff, Rose. Lovely chatting to you. Rose Smith, astrologist and spiritualist there.
17 minutes to 7, 8223 0000 is our number. You can text us as well on the Automasters text line, 044808 1395. We should talk in a moment briefly about the weather. We've got the Bureau coming up. Police too. It was a busy weekend of incidents that the police were attending to, so we will get you across that as well in just a moment. But first, let's have a look at the traffic, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Good morning, boys. In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks to look out for at Highgate. Restrictions apply there for the Crossroad and Fullerton Road intersection upgrade. Works at McGill continue. McGill Road and the St Bernards Road intersection. That's affecting both directions. Getting busy on the drive-in. South Road at Karata Park with cameras. Anzac Highway, Ashford and Doothie Street at Malvern. The Karcher Tradie Vac is tough, reliable and powerful. Made for tradies, it sucks up dust, rubble, water, anything your job site can throw at it. The Karcher Tradie Vac, available at Bunnings Warehouse. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 3,000 Toyotas, Camrys, Corollas, Land Cruisers, 2,000 Mitsubishis, Tritons, Outlanders, Pajeros, over 500 VWs. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Hey, it's Callum here. It wasn't by chance that Edwardstown Mazda located themselves bang on South Road. They wanted to make it easy for people driving to the city, just like you, to get your car serviced. So no matter what make or model car you have, make a pit stop at Edwardstown Mazda for a logbook service. They can drop you into the city so you can forget about expensive parking fees, or borrow a new car for the day, which is what I like to do.
It's gotta be.
At Edwardstown Mazda, they'll do whatever works for you. edwardstownmazda.com.au.
Now, if you're fitting out a workshop, your shed or your rooms around the home with extra storage, forget the flat pack. Go Sharman Shelving all the way.
That's right. Here's the thing we all love about Sharman Shelving. It's all done for you. It's not flat packed, so you're not going to sit there for hours trying to find the part marked A that's meant to fit in the bit C. And I did this all weekend, I can tell you. And I don't want to do it again.
No.
And it's because if I was getting a shelf, I would have gotten Sharman Shelving.
Yes, no, exactly. Do what I did. Head out to Sharman Shelving. Well, they'll actually come out to you, in fact, give you a free measure and quote, then deliver and assemble it all for you.
Or if you want to assemble it yourself, they'll give you all the support you need.
Best to go out there, though, because they've got such an amazing range of not just shelves and cabinets and workbenches, but they've got an awesome collection of barbecues as well. When it comes to storage solutions, everybody needs a little Sharman in their life. They're at 412 North East Road, Windsor Gardens, sharmanshelving.com.au, or take a look on Facebook.
You deserve to enjoy doing what you're passionate about. Gardening, for example, or walking to keep fit. So if your body is stopping you from enjoying the life you want, come and see us at SportsMed. Our Stepney Healthcare Hub includes our own hospital, orthopaedic surgeons, doctors, physios and podiatrists, so we can see to your care from diagnosis to rehabilitation, all in one place. Easy. Get back to doing what you love. sportsmed.com.au.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
14-7, Australia are in the World Cup. Rowie coming up in the next 45 minutes. We'll get his reaction, getting a lot of your reaction on the Automasters text line. Let's talk about the weather here in Adelaide, because the day started. It's bleak and dark out there, but there's just the most magnificent sunrise peeking through the clouds at the moment. Some really deep oranges. I suspect we're going to get some nice photos a little bit later. Jenny Horvath at the Bureau's on the line. Morning to you, Jenny.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Will. Yes, we do have some high cloud drifting across. We could see a little bit of shower activity with that as it comes across from the west. We've seen a little bit on York Peninsula and Kangaroo Island, only a millimetre or so, but it's our front that will come through later today, or just ahead of that. We'll start to see showers really ramping up later in the day. We've currently got our low pressure system sitting well south of the Bight, and it's slowly moving its way across to the east, so we could see that shower activity. With the high cloud ahead of that, a little bit around this morning, but probably more likely this afternoon or into the evening that things will really start to pick up with those showers and into that overnight period, quite a wet period, and still some showers persisting into Wednesday. We'll start to see them easing back later in the day. We are looking at potentially seeing some heavy falls about the hills and southern suburbs on the Wednesday there. Just having a look at the temperature currently at our West Terrace Night Appearance site. We are sitting at around 12 degrees, so that is a little bit mild for this time of year. Minimum temperature actually happened last night at 8:45, and that was 10.7. We are aiming for 17 degrees across the metropolitan area and 16 for Mount Barker. So for Wednesday, we will see those showers overnight and continuing during the day. Minimum temperature of 12 with a maximum of 17. Thursdays, we will see those showers easing quite quickly and only really most likely in the morning. Again, a minimum of 12, maximum of 17 for the Thursday. We are looking at a partly cloudy day on 17. Could see a little bit of fog around the hills there, and there is a very slight chance of seeing a shower around on the Friday, but really it should be mostly a dry day for most people. Mostly sunny for Saturday. They're a little bit cooler with a minimum of 9, maximum of 18, and we will start to see our showers returning later in the day on Sunday after a maximum of 17, and then it looks like showers to start next week, 16 degrees through there. Just having a bit of a look at out on the waters today. We do have that strong wind warning out for the metropolitan waters, so our north-northeasterly winds at the moment around 15 to 20 knots. We'll see them tending a bit more northwesterly during the later part of the morning and picking up to 20 to 25 knots, and we will see them reaching 20 to 30 knots for a period this afternoon before our winds really start to tend more northwesterly in the late evening of 20 to 25 knots, with that change coming through early Wednesday morning, guys.
Beautiful stuff, Jenny. Thank you for that.
Good on you, Jenny. Thank you. Let's head over to SoPol. There's been a few incidents worth of a further conversation. Matt Brown is on deck there. Matt, 2 people have been arrested at an RBT yesterday.
That's right. Well, about 3 p.m. on Monday, the 13th of June, a driver testing station was set up on Grey Terrace at Gilman, and a blue Lexus sedan entered the site. And the driver, a 34-year-old man from Burton, submitted to a drug test and returned a positive result for methamphetamine. Now, police had further cause to search the vehicle, and they located a machete on the side of the driver's seat and an amount of methamphetamine in the centre console. And the man was also searched, and he was found to be in possession of a large amount of cash. And a short time later, police attended the man's Burton house and located a prescribed firearm along with metal ball bearings, a knuckle duster, cannabis, liquid fantasy and other drug paraphernalia. So the man and his passenger, a 22-year-old woman from Everard Park, were arrested and charged with trafficking a controlled drug. The man was further charged with carrying an offensive weapon, unlawful possession, firearm offences and possessing a prohibited weapon. So the pair were refused bail and will appear in the Port Adelaide Magistrates Court today. So some good work there, all out of the driver testing station.
Absolutely. Matt, also a bloke's been arrested over a shooting at Pennington.
That's right, David. Just after 6 a.m. yesterday, patrols were called to a house in Harrington Street after the occupant reported a shot being fired at his house. Patrols located a small hole in the bedroom window at the rear of the property, and thankfully the occupant wasn't injured, and police don't believe this was a random incident. And crime scene investigators attended and determined the hole was made by a small caliber rifle, possibly a .22 caliber. So investigations led police to a nearby address where they arrested the man known to the victim. The 53-year-old man from Pennington was charged with endangering life, and he was refused bail to appear in court today.
Good stuff, Matt. Thanks for that.
Senior Constable Matt Brown from SoPol. Just having a look at some of the pictures that are coming through. Sunrise over Kulpara. I think that relates to the second one? Yeah, because the first one's at Roseworth. We're going to put these ones up on our at 5AA Breakfast Twitter account.
The colour's amazing.
They look pink.
Yeah, it's like a real. It's actually more like a purple, I reckon. Like it's like a real. It looks like a Shiraz colour. It's amazing colour, the sky at the moment. So get out there and have a squiz, folks. It's fantastic. I know Lisa's been out on the balcony. She's our resident sunrise nut. Just feels like it's going to be a cracker of a day.
It doesn't it? The birds are singing.
The sun's been up for 4 hours.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be delirious by the end of this morning, aren't we?
It's like when Sydney won the rights to host the Olympics. What year was that? Well, the Olympics were 2000, but I think the bid was 1995. And the Daily Telegraph, you know, the newspapers always have the weather report on the front of the newspaper up the top. And the day that Sydney won the right to host the 2000 Olympics, it said on the front of the paper, weather today, and they changed it to just say perfect. Because it was like, everything's perfect.
Who cares?
All is good in the world.
The weather will hold up, hopefully, for people that are using the Gawler line for the first actual city commute that's going to take place a little bit later this morning. If you've been on it already, we'd love a review. We'd love to hear one of our listeners. This is a project that has been... we've been waiting on for a long, long time. It was announced in 2008. So what are we, nearly 15 years, 14 years later, it's up and running. How did you go yesterday? Are you a regular commuter of the line? Were you a regular user back in 2008? And it's been a long time between drinks. We want a review of the line. Is it worth the wait? Similarly, if you're going to be catching it a little bit later today, when we get the first peak hour commute, love to hear your thoughts of how it all goes off then too. My understanding is the state government are putting on a spread to celebrate.
Oh, really? Like,
yeah, you can go now. I think there's going to be stuff there.
It's a lifestyle changing thing for people in Gawler, though, because there'd be a lot of people who've got to rely on buses that take heaps longer, or there'd be people who are, particularly at a time when everyone's trying to manage their household budget better, and with petrol prices being what they are, I think there'd be people from Gawler who, at the moment, have been driving into the city, paying, you know, just so much money in petrol. So it's going to be a big saving for them. But yeah, not a moment too soon.
All right, it's Heroes time. Six to seven. So do we all just say Andrew Redmayne? It's the quickest segment ever. 82230000. If you want to nominate a hero, get calling now or text us on the Automasters text line, because we love shouting out people that deserve a bit of acknowledgement and a recognition too to those yesterday acknowledged in the Queen's birthday list on this as well.
Absolutely. Some fantastic South Australians being honoured there. I actually think, though, because, you know, this is the story of the hour, story of the day, story of the year, sports-wise. I actually think you can mount an argument that Matt Ryan is as big a hero as Andrew Redmayne, the captain of the Socceroos, the keeper. For him, in like your whole life leads up to a moment like this where he would be thinking, he would have lied awake at night thinking, imagine making a winning save in a penalty shootout so that Australia can qualify for the World Cup. And in one of the great noble gestures in Australian sport, he went, mate, you do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I reckon that's massive to give that up.
And Graham Arnold, in the context of this conversation, deserves a nomination as well. And that bloke was so far away from getting a hero nomination by anyone in this country, even just a week ago, that he's been much maligned for a lack of creativity, a lack of flair and risk-taking in terms of selection and how he's got the side to play. It was the opposite of that, deciding to take off your most celebrated player for the reserve goalkeeper, heading into a penalty shootout that would decide your World Cup fate.
So Australia now, our group in Qatar is France, Denmark and Tunisia. The bad news for us, Will, is the first game against France starts at 5:30 a.m.
So we're going to have to call the whole thing. I mean, not call the whole thing. Yeah, okay.
How are you, Luce?
Luce is in the studio.
Thanks for indulging us. Although, I must say, I saw you jumping around punching the air for joy in the
I didn't watch a second of this game until the show went on air, to be honest, but totally worth it. No, my hero is also soccer-themed. It is Brooklyn. She captured all of your reactions on our Facebook live stream and has already cut up the clip.
No, I don't know if that should be seen.
I have tweeted it already. It is on the at 5AA Breakfast Twitter account if you'd like to see David Will and Tom Wren reacting to the win.
That's something that needs to see the light.
I want to see it because I really don't know what happened. All I know is my glasses end up on the other side of the room.
You jumped up. Will was sort of doubled over in excitement, and Tommy just was sitting there pretty calmly in celebratory fashion. So that is up on our socials, and she'll put it on our Instagram and Facebook as well if you want to go back and see the winning moment. Thank you, Brooklyn. You are a gem. And we're wearing the same jumper, so it's a good day.
What about that?
Is that a good thing?
Every day we say one day we're going to do it, and today it's happened.
David and I wear the same thing often.
We do.
We both have
except for today.
a preference for very plain clothes.
Boring plain T-shirts.
Big shout out to Sam too. You might see Sam Datto at the opening of the Gawler line. I think he needs an honorary nomination this morning because he's out in the cold, got up early, not watching the soccer but out there speaking to people. So we'll get some eyewitness accounts of this massive infrastructure project and how it's playing out this morning for the peak hour commute a little bit later. But we'd love a little sneak preview from you folks too on 8223 0000, or you can text us on the Automasters text line because of course it's been working now for a couple of days, opened officially on Sunday.
Seb and Caleb have texted in saying that they're still running around the house cheering. Good on them. I think there'll be people all over Australia doing that this morning. We've got a good breaking at 8 today too. I'm going to be interested to hear what people have got to say about that. It's about the push for a voice to Parliament, which is gathering steam. Yeah, well, no, at the state level. I had a chat to Kai Ma, and we had a piece in the Australian yesterday, but for the benefit of those people who don't read the paper on a public holiday, which is a large amount of them, can have a bit of a look at what it is that the Attorney General is looking at doing.
How much does it drop away, the reading of newspapers on public holidays?
Massive.
Really?
Yeah.
Just people just
subscribers still get them, but your casual buyer, like, none of the shops, particularly now, none of the shops where you, many of the shops where you normally buy one aren't open, like the biggest supermarkets and so on. Yeah, people who actually have to make a conscious decision to, I'll go down to the servo and grab one or whatever. Yeah, I think you sell about 20% of what you normally do.
All right, we're coming up to the 7 o'clock news. Stephen Rowe coming up in the next half hour on the Socceroos through to the World Cup story that played out on the program. We will also get you across the Queen, who's breaking another record. The GP shortage that's causing people to wait a hell of a long time to see their GP. Actually, if that's you, let us know. There's reports around Australia of, waits up to 8 weeks to see a GP at the moment. 8223 0000. Let us know. And also, a really nice moment for fans of the musical Sound of Music. The reunion, and we'll play you a little bit of what happened next.
For over 38 years, Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth a trip. And right now, Steinborners are the place to go for top dollar on your trade-in. They will do any trade, and this month they are offering a further $1,500 bonus on all trade-ins. So go out to one of Steinborner's 8 locations for Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Ford and SA's best range of used cars. View all their used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth a trip.
I'm a massive fan of the outdoors and watching this amazing South Australian landscape unfold on either side of the highway. But I'm not a big fan of backing a caravan into a tree or post or parking it under a dodgy gum tree. If that happens to you, don't panic. It's probably covered by insurance, and the only name to trust for your repairs is Walker Crash Repairs. I'm a massive fan of John and the boys. They're your RAA approved caravan crash repairer, so let Walkers get it fixed right and quick.
Invoicing can be like eating Brussels sprouts. Doing it is good for you, but it's so easy to put off. This will definitely help. It's called BizTrack. BizTrack is smart invoice processing. BizTrack works alongside other accounting software like Xero and MyOb. It makes invoicing a walk in the park, as in you'll actually have time to walk in the park. If you're a small to medium business, BizTrack will change your world. Visit bztrack.com. Invoicing done.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers increasing 17 today with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. physioextra.com.
It was an early start for soccer fans this morning, but it paid off. The Socceroos qualifying for the World Cup after defeating Peru in a penalty shootout. These fans ecstatic the Aussies finally got the job done.
What an amazing performance. Peru are an amazing team. We've done amazingly.
We always believe, never gave up. I'm about to cry. This is it. We made it.
Tom Wren will have all the details in sport. Well, there'll be a court appearance today following a shooting incident at Pennington. Patrols were called to a house in Harrington Street yesterday after the occupant reported a shot being fired at his property. Senior Constable Matt Brown says a small hole was found in a bedroom window at the rear of the property.
So investigations led police to a nearby address where they arrested a man known to the victim. The 53-year-old man from Pennington was charged with endangering life. He was refused bail to appear in court today.
The rewind on shop trading hours on public holidays isn't too popular. Only Rundle Mall was open for business yesterday under the new Malinauskas government. Last year, the city and suburbs were granted exemptions to trade on the holiday Monday under the previous government. More men than women are dying with COVID in Australia. Gail Watson has the story.
Latest data from the National Notifiable Disease Surveillance System shows more than 8,000 Australians have died during the pandemic. Of those, more than 4,700 were men, while more than 3,500 were women. In the 70 to 79 age group, more than 1,100 men have died, compared to close to 600 women. In March, ATAGI recommended a fourth dose for all over 65s, as well as all residents of aged and disability care facilities. The fourth dose has since been opened up to all people over 16 with a medical condition that increases the risk of severe illness, including those with cancer and diabetes.
Hey Dad star Robert Hughes will walk free from Sydney's Long Bay Jail today. The convicted pedophile has been behind bars since 2014 for sexually and indecently assaulting 4 girls during the 1980s and 90s. Hughes was granted parole earlier this month and upon his release will be deported to the UK. Amber Heard has broken her silence after losing the high-profile defamation trial against ex-husband Johnny Depp, and she's taking aim at social media. US correspondent Sophie Walsh has more.
In her first sit-down interview since losing the defamation trial, Amber Heard has revealed she doesn't blame the jury for siding with her former husband Johnny Depp. She pointed to the fact he's a fantastic actor and also a beloved character, but also said social media coverage was unfair. One example is that TikTok hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp amassed 20 billion views during the trial, compared with Amber Heard's, which only received around 30 million. The jury was told to stay off social media, but it wasn't sequestered. They weren't locked away for the duration of the trial. Heard does plan to appeal the decision. Her lawyers will most likely argue the jury was influenced by things outside the courtroom.
Now turning to 5AA's sport, here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. As we heard earlier, the Socceroos are through to another World Cup following an epic penalty shootout win against Peru. It was 0-0 after 120 minutes, meaning it all came down to penalties, and the Socceroos got it done 5-4. An emotional coach, Graham Arnold, paying tribute to his team post-match.
I'm just so proud of the players. You know, really no one knows what these boys have been through to get to here. It was so hard, you know, the whole campaign, and the way they've stuck at it, the way they've committed themselves to it, incredible.
Yeah, it certainly was. Audio there, thanks to Channel 10. To football now, and Adelaide will return to the training track today, fresh after 4 days off with the bye. The Crows are a chance to regain Josh Rochelle for Sunday's match against the Gold Coast. The Power, meantime, could blood mid-season draftee Bryn Teakle for Saturday's must-win match against Sydney at home. The Power played without a recognised ruckman against Richmond, but could bring him in for the match against the Swans. Well, Bulldog star Bailey Smith will be interviewed today by the AFL after social media images emerged of him with an illicit substance. And North Melbourne's Jason Horne-Francis has been suspended for 2 games for striking giant Josh Kelly on Sunday afternoon. Teammate Lockie Young can accept a 1-match suspension for rough conduct. The club has until 10:30am this morning to accept or challenge those findings. And in some tennis to finish, Alex de Minaur has won his opening round match at the Queen's Club tournament in London, beating 8th seed American Riley Opelka in straight sets. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help SAMRI's life-saving research. Join the Bright Walk July 23rd. Register at samribright.org.au.
In the city, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Cannibal Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks to look out for this morning at Highgate. Restrictions apply for the Cross Road and Fullerton Road intersection upgrade. Woodville works along Port Road heading inbound, causing a few delays this morning. That's from Cheltenham Parade to Kilkenny Road, speeds at 40. And we've got an early morning camera, Anzac Highway, Ashford, and also Duthie Street at Malvern. Get free delivery with KFC's Zinger Popcorn Box, only on the KFC app. T's and C's apply. Free delivery waives the $8.95 delivery fee only. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Hitachi Air Conditioners. Be comfortable all year round. Visit hitachieaircon.com.au.
Showers increasing today, 17. Showers tomorrow, 17. Thursday, showers easing, 17. Right now, it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Ready a room at the Hotel California.
7 minutes after 7. Now we've tried to have all evidence of the first half hour of the program destroyed, and unfortunately, some members of our own team have conspired against us, and there is the moment that Australia booked their tickets to the World Cup, captured live by the cameras that I forgot exist in the studio, and it's on our 5AA Breakfast Twitter account at the moment, if you want to see three people's heads explode simultaneously.
Tell you what, I feel like my head did explode, and watching the video back, it's quite ridiculous. It's absurd the places sport can take you to. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what makes it so good.
Geez, it would have been some listening this morning and it gone badly.
Oh, yeah, the next 2.5 hours of the program would have been pretty dire. But, yes, all is good in the world.
Yep, that's right.
Happy days.
Well, somewhat. There's a story this morning that we want to talk more about with regard to wait times at GPs. There's a national shortage, as you'll hear Dr. Karen Price explain in just a moment. Some texts first, though, on that front, with South Australians who have better experiences. Sue in Christie's Beach on the Automasters text line says, I go to a clinic with one doctor only, always ask for the next available first up appointment, and the longest I've ever had to wait is 3 days. Happy with that. Next available appointment is always the same day. And no, it's my secret where it is. So, fair enough. Jane says, morning, go the Socceroos. I had to wait 5 weeks to see my doc, so I had to book another doc just to get my scripts, and I kept the 5-week appointment for other stuff, so 2 appointments as opposed to 1, and it's private, so no bulk billing there. The cost, the time, what's going on? Well, Jane, that's an excellent question. There's a GP shortage, essentially, and here's Dr. Karen Price talking about it on Sunrise.
Well, over the last decade or so, it's become somewhat lagging in Medicare funding. We only receive less than 8% of the total health expenditure, whereas we do the vast bulk of the heavy lifting in the community. So it's also a very complex specialty. We are a specialty, so you have to sit fellowship exams just as if you're going to be a surgeon or a physician. And the young graduates are looking at that going, well, you know, I'm going to earn a lot less, it's a lot more complicated, I'm a lot less supported, why would I do general practice? So there's a big issue looming. There's also the loss of entitlement, so particularly as the demographics change, people are often having children and they need support to do that. So there's a whole range of issues that are really turning younger doctors off.
Dr. Karen Price from the Royal College of GPs. I wonder too if we've got any GPs who are actually listening that might be able to give us a perspective, because it sounds like it's a supply side issue.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just not an attractive thing to do as it has been historically.
Well, I think too the other thing is you probably make a heap more money in other lines of medicine as well. So there's a commercial sort of pull behind it. The other thing too, I reckon being a GP would be completely exhausting.
Yes.
Like they have been at the absolute front line of COVID. And, you know, so many of the changes that were put in place affected them. And I think, too, it'd be quite a stressful job. You know, like it's different from in a controlled hospital environment, you know, seeing a specialist who's sort of in and out. You know, like frontline GP work, you'd get people being strung out and upset, and be a very hard way to make a living, I reckon.
It's an uplifting story out of China. There are fewer than 1,000 Siberian tigers that are left in the wild, where there are 4 more because a Siberian tigress at the Hengdao Heasy Siberian Tiger Park in northeast China has just given birth to 4 cubs, which is excellent news when you consider that in one fell swoop, that's a significant population of the percentage of the population that have suddenly been born. Fewer than 1,000 would make them among the most endangered species on planet Earth.
I was reading yesterday about the discovery of a tortoise called Fernanda. That's not the botanical name, that's what they've called the tortoise. But it's one of those Galapagos Island tortoises, but it's like a subspecies called Chelonoidus fantasticus, which translates as the fantastic giant tortoise. But the thing that's significant is that the last known member of this species was found in 1906.
Oh,
so
wow.
Almost 120 years ago. And they found one. Her name's Fernanda. They got no idea how old she is. They reckon she's more than 100 years old. But they reckon she's the only one left. So they've called her the world's loneliest tortoise.
That's an extraordinary story. There was one found recently that was considered the oldest living creature on planet Earth.
Wasn't it like 170 or something?
Yeah, it was something. It was ridiculous, far beyond what a human can live for. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe there's a life lesson in that.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
This was nice. Fans of Sound of Music may have caught this. There was a reunion that took place because Julie Andrews was being honoured at the AFI Life Achievement Award Gala. Received the Institute's highest honour for a career in film and was serenaded by 5 of the original cast members who played the Von Trapp children. No, we've got some massive fans of the Sound of Music that listen to 5AA Breakfast. It's come up a lot when we've done subjects around great films, reunions, performances and things like that. So I'm sure if you haven't caught that, you can find it somewhere online and watch that reunion take place.
It would be the most popular musical film of all time, wouldn't it?
What else is in the conversation? Grease is in the conversation.
West Side Story? That's probably a bit more obscure.
Yeah, it's a bit more obscure. Maybe there are suggestions our listeners might have on 8223 0000. The Queen is just continually breaking records at the moment. She's climbing the ladder of the longest reigning monarchs of all time. She's just overtaken Thailand's king. Now, she's reigned for 70 years and 126 days. He reigned for 70 years and 126 days until 2016. The current record is with King Louis XIV of France, whose reign lasted 72 years and 110 days, which means the Queen would need to continue on until 2024. Late 2024.
Does it feel like that's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm taking if that's the line now. But would be a remarkable record.
You're going to put her in a multi, mate.
Sorry, the soccer's frazzled my brain this morning.
I got the Socceroos beating France in match 1. I got
the Queen.
I got the Crows getting up against the Suns up at Carrara. Not Carrara, what's it called? And I got the Queen pipping Louis XIV.
I'm sure someone would take that.
You could probably do that.
I'm sure someone would take that. Wouldn't that be... because the thing is, you go back over history and you look at the monarchs who reigned for the longest period of time. Most of them, their reign started at birth or at 1 or some ridiculously young age because they had a parent...
Like that Chinese one, the last emperor.
Exactly right. There are lots in the record books that their reign was basically their lifespan, and the Queen obviously was significantly older than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
14 after 7, let's check traffic, and we'll be back with more on 5AA Breakfast, including some more of your texts in just a moment.
In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks to keep in mind today at Highgate. Restrictions apply for the Crossroad and Fullerton Road intersection upgrade. And Ovingham works on Torrens Road, Nick Park Terrace continue. It's affecting both directions. Speeds are currently reduced. With cameras, Eliza Place Panorama and Port Road at Beverley. Don't have Foxtel? Get live sport, drama, movies and Netflix with Foxtel's Very Big Deal on sale now. Ends June 30. Search Foxtel or call 131 787. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Leon Biner.
The biggest single issue facing the community right now is no doubt cost of living pressures. We all have to make difficult decisions as we trim our sails. The private sector has had to reinvent itself with less resources, primarily due to the pandemic.
9 till 12 weekdays.
Council staff are particularly well compensated for their services and enjoy very generous superannuation on top of that.
SSA as Leon Biner. SSA as AA.
At Connect Hearing, we listen and you do the talking. In fact, 98% of clients surveyed agreed that Connect Hearing really listened and tailored products and services to their personal needs. That's why Connect Hearing is the largest Australian provider of Lyric, the completely invisible fit and forget hearing solution that stays in your ear 24/7. That's gold. To see if Lyric is right for you, book a free 30-day trial at connecthearing.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Troy?
Yep.
I see you've set a brainstorm session for 11.
Yep.
And the location is in your Hyundai i30?
That's it.
You realise the big room is...
I prefer my i30. The remarkable i30 is packed with advanced safety and intuitive tech. And from just $27,990 drive away with auto, now's a smart time to buy. T's and C's apply. Visit hyundai.com.au/offers for details. Imagine that. Hyundai.
South Australia wouldn't be South Australia without its businesses, big and small, and the best of SA is all about celebrating some of our most iconic businesses. Well, Ray White is a big name in real estate, but it's also the biggest name in business brokering.
So what makes Ray White big? Well, it's the people like Brett Buckley and his team, MBA lecturer, multi-award-winning SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett is an absolute wealth of knowledge.
And Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking about small change here either.
No, if you're thinking about your next business venture, be it big or small, you want to be in talks with the great people at Ray White Business Sales.
Go on, touch base with Brett and his team. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
Here at the Coffee Club, we're so obsessed with coffee, we're giving you 3 free coffees when you sign up to our rewards app. Yep, 3 free coffees, but only for a limited time at your local Coffee Club store. T's and C's apply. See in store for details.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Minutes after 7, the Gawler line electrification has been a story since 2008 when the good people of the northern suburbs received news that if your commute was going to be electrified, and people in Salisbury and Elizabeth and places were going to have this whiz-bang excellent new line into the city. Here we are 14 years later and we've had the official opening. They didn't break any land speed records for getting it done, that's for sure, but it's here now and we want to hear from you how it's been going. 8223 0000 is the number, open on Sunday, but of course today's the first peak hour commute. Our very own Sam Daddo is at the Adelaide train station as commuters get off. Sam, good morning to you, mate. What's the reviews been like?
Morning, boys. Well, mainly the reviews have been positive, 6 o'clock, 6:30 definitely, but one of the lasting things that we heard at the 7:05 train from Gawler was it was a diesel. So people weren't, I don't know, overly impressed that we waited all this time for them to come in on a diesel, but it's all running smoothly.
So, but the diesels were the ones that were already there, weren't they?
True, correct.
So,
yeah.
I can understand people sort of feeling somewhat disappointed that they got the same train that they would have been getting last week.
Exactly, but at the same time, everything's running smoothly here at the train station.
Did you get a sense of what sort of places people were coming from? How many people had been going without that have gotten back on the train and stuff like that?
I've had about 10 or 15 people that didn't want to talk to me because they were supposedly busy, so we'll let them off.
No.
But they were all saying that they normally take in the buses and it's about 20 to 25 minutes quicker than the bus. So all in all, it's a positive experience so far.
Okay, that's good news. So 20 to 25 minutes quicker than the bus that people have been catching. So I imagine it'll be a pretty popular service.
It's important to stress too, it's not just Gawler. I mean, you look at the suburbs along the line, like, Smithfield, Elizabeth, Salisbury, Parafield, Mawson Lakes. We're talking here about the entire northern suburbs. So anything that's going to make life a bit more, a bit swifter and a bit more reliable is a great thing for everybody, particularly with all the, those, sort of like the defence sort of hub for us now around Mawson Lakes, and a lot of renewable companies I know that like Tindo Solar are based out there. I've been out there to see them. It's one of the Uni SA campuses as well. It's a hive of economic activity out there now.
8223 if you'd like to give us your own review. We'd love to hear from you. You can text us as well, like so many have already this morning on the Automasters text line.
That's right. One here from Lindsay. Good morning, boys. Absolutely love the not a broadcast of the soccer this morning. The World Cup's about the only time I have interest in the game. Your non-call was great. One here, hope FIFA aren't listening. GP clinics need to figure out a way to give script renewals instead of taking up a whole appointment to get a piece of paper printed. I fear that they want the money from the appointment, though, so I don't think that things will change. I think we read out Sue's from Christie's Beach before.
About the doctors?
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah, thank you, Sue. I mean, it was such a good text. I'm happy to read it twice, but we did already read it, so good on you.
We're going to get Stephen Rowe on momentarily to talk sport, and there is one story in sport this morning that will dominate all today, and I suspect for a period of time through to the World Cup in November, and that is that the Socceroos are through to the World Cup, and they did it in the most dramatic fashion possible. Rowe in a second, thanks to North Point Toyota. Book your service online at North Point Toyota to win the cost back. It is the North Point way.
Alex Valera. And Redmayne makes the save. It's a save that means the world to Australia. It's a save that means the World Cup for Australia.
Australia through the World Cup, and it couldn't have been more dramatic, but even you think, well, penalty shootout goes without saying, but there was more to it than that. In the moment, it was penalty shootouts that went to sudden death. Australia missed the first penalty of the shootout. Martin Boyle's shot on goal was saved. They'd been the better side for the 90 minutes preceding extra time, and an extra time probably just shaded by Peru. Then the drama began really with a minute to go in extra time, where Graham Arnold made substitutes for the penalty shootout. Craig Goodwin right here in Adelaide came on as a specialist penalty taker. But the big story was Andrew Redmayne, the Sydney FC custodian, who was Matt Ryan's backup. Matt Ryan's the captain of the Socceroos, got subbed off as a penalty saving specialist. And at the very end, it turned out to be a stroke of genius from Graham Arnold, and the Socceroos go through to the World Cup. Lots of people having fun at our expense, laughing at us, losing our heads on the FIVEaa Twitter account at the moment. I can see tweeted the moment it all did play out. We're going to get Rowe's take on it right after this.
Construction of 88 O'Connell has commenced. This is truly one of the most impressive developments in Adelaide for a very long time. 88 O'Connell will encapsulate connected living, community and style, with boutiques, retail and culinary experiences on your doorstep. 2 and 3 bedroom apartments are still available from $1.1 million. Visit the new display suite at 53 O'Connell Street, North Adelaide. Proudly developed by Commercial and General, creating South Australian communities for over 25 years.
You can do just about anything online. Buy a couch, find the love of your life, enter the cryptocurrency market. But there's one thing so important that you should never do online, and that's your will. From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers can answer your questions and help carry out your wishes. The sort of thing you just can't do with an online will. Visit donlanlawyers.com and organise an appointment today. That's donlanlawyers.com.
If there's one thing the Adelaide Hills are known for, it's lush, thriving treescapes. You just need to say Adelaide Hills and you can hear the crunch of the autumn leaves and trees as far as the eye can see.
Well, Balhanna Nurseries have been spreading that stunning hills vibrance to backyards across Adelaide since 1887. And I tell you, if, like me, you're the proud owner of a number of Balhanna Nurseries fruit trees, you will know that they are superbly made. You don't make a tree, do you?
Well, I was going to stay out of it because this is your area.
I think my brain's shutting down. Just look out for the green bag. I reckon I've got about 7 Balhanna dwarf fruit trees. Not just fruit trees, though. They do ornamental trees and also old favourites that bring gardens to life far and wide.
And one of the good things you know about buying trees that are grown here in South Australia is that they're built to survive in our South Australian climate.
That's the point I was trying to make earlier. Balhanna Nurseries also supply local orchardists. So you can have that beautiful market quality fruit right at your doorstep. I think I need some more sleep. There's just nothing quite like picking fruit. That is true. A Granny Smith off our Balhanna Nurseries, it's got more flavour than 10 kilos of those ones they keep on the gas down in the supermarket aisle. Get one off a Balhanna Nursery tree, tastes It's life-changingly different, Will.
Absolutely. So ask for Balhanna Nurseries at your local garden centre. Look for the green bag and take a piece of the hills home. balhannanurseries.com.au.
Mini Jumbuck, Australia's favourite wool bedding product. Now located in McLaren Vale, Mini Jumbuck has a great range of quality Australian-made wool bedding products to suit all sleepers and all climates. You'll love their extensive range of Australian-made quilts, mattress toppers and pillows too. And remember, Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale also stock a huge range of genuine sheepskin Ugg boots and quality merino wool clothing. For Australia's favourite wool products, call into Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale, open 7 days.
Attention dilly-dalliers. If you thought you'd run out of time to score a great end of financial year deal on a new Volkswagen, listen to this. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen is about to receive truckloads of new Volkswagens, and they're available at amazing end of financial year prices. And remember Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for servicing too, with next day servicing and free loan cars. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle or delay. Get a great deal on Volkswagen now. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube.
On the ceiling if you want.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
If the answer is no.
27 after 7. We're losing our voices and we're delirious. It's been a big morning. If you got up to watch the Socceroos like we did, and so many of our listeners have too. Lots of wonderful texts on the Automasters text line. For the moment, what we're going to do is just give it over to Stephen Rowe to get his take. Thanks to North Point Toyota. Book your service online at North Point to win the cost back. That is the North Point way. And good morning to you, Stephen Rowe.
Oh, Pembo and Will, my feet have just hit the ground. How good was that? We're into our 5th straight World Cup. It went to penalties, we know. We won 5-4. Again, against a South American team. You name another sport that has that tension, I guess, the theatre, the pressure, the cutthroat nature of a penalty shootout where 2 years of preparation comes down to a guy in the goal saving it or a guy putting it in the back of the onion net. Look, I laughed, I cried, I spewed up, and when that little green wiggle Redmayne saved that last strike, it was about 6:27, I reckon. I absolutely exploded and woke up the entire neighbourhood. Now, you know I'm learning the trumpet. I ran around the house playing Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Have a listen. I played that for a half hour.
Rowie, watching the game, you'll have noted Peru they had drums, they had trumpeters, they have the whole band there. But I reckon by the time the World Cup comes around in November, you'll have mastered the trumpet. We need to get you there, sitting amongst the Australian fans.
Oh, you won't want that, but yes, I'm in.
It sounded more like a Vuvuzela than Miles Davis to me, just quietly, mate.
My wife's going, Stephen, what are you doing? You wake up the kids. I said, I don't care. We're into the World Cup, you clown. Honestly, there is no... It's just unreal, isn't it? You know, AFL,
right about the
I love it.
tension.
AFL can't give me that. No. AFL's never, ever given me that. That was just unreal. Not one footy expert would have supported Ryan out and Redmayne in.
No.
Not one.
No.
Even I said, Arnie, you clown, you buffhead, what are you doing?
It was crazy.
And guess what? The big green wiggle just saved that last one. That'll go down in folklore, that now.
I think, forget the sport. That's one of the greatest calls in the history of coaching anywhere, ever.
It will be. It will be. It has to be.
See, the weird thing is, like, there's been goalkeepers in the past have been specialists at taking like set kicks. Like there was the Paraguayan keeper Schiller who ended up running for president there. The Colombian keeper Higuita, he used to do it a lot as well. He's famous for his scorpion kick, but actually just switching the goalie is a completely different proposition. It's crazy.
Now you know that it's tradition. We're into our 5th World Cup. We won on penalties not even an hour ago, 5-4. Give it a squirt, Will. You know you want to. Come on.
No, I can feel it.
Come on. I'm going to start learning that on the trumpet.
Yes.
That was close.
That was pretty good.
Oh, wow.
That was close.
I think you have to
Oh,
rename
my
themselves the
goodness.
Jackson 6, mate. That was sensational.
Oh, my goodness. How good is this? You know what? If they had lost, I would have been one of the first to come off the top turnbuckle in the cheap seats. Get rid of Arnie. What's he thinking? You're an idiot. Where's Ange Postecoglou? No. In Arnie, we trust.
Well, he almost got sacked before the qualifier against the UAE.
Correct.
They had a meeting about it, and they said, well, we're just going to see it through. So in that moment, that night, I guess the 120th minute, he makes the sub. He probably thought, I'm going either way.
Yeah, that's right.
I can make this and go, and it could be extraordinary, and then we can, or it doesn't, and I'm out either way. Oh, my word. What a morning. Can't wait for the sports show tonight, Rowie. Looking forward to it.
That was the Aloisi moment, you little beauty. And please play me to the ad break, Ed. Can you feel it? Because it just gets my juices flowing.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers increasing 17 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Physio Extra hands-on physio at 6 locations. Even more convenient now with online bookings at physioextra.com.
An early start for Aussie soccer fans this morning. They were up to watch the World Cup qualifier against Peru in Qatar. There were no goals during the match. It then went into extra time. Australia finally securing its spot in the World Cup in a penalty shootout. Tom Wren will have all the details in sport. A man will face court today following a shooting at Pennington yesterday. Senior Constable Matt Brown says police were called to a house in Harrington Street after the occupant reported a shot being fired at his property.
Patrols located a small hole in the bedroom window at the rear of the property, and thankfully the occupant wasn't injured, and police don't believe this was a random incident. And crime scene investigators attended and determined the hole was made by a small caliber rifle, possibly a .22 caliber.
A 53-year-old man from Pennington was arrested at a nearby address and charged with endangering life. Both men know each other. 2 people have been arrested for drug trafficking after being stopped at Gilman. The driver, a 34-year-old man from Burton, allegedly tested positive for meth. Police reportedly locating a machete in the side of the driver's seat and an amount of meth in the centre console. The man was also searched and found to have a large amount of cash on him. His passenger was a 22-year-old woman from Everard Park. The pair have been bailed to front court at a later date. Hey Dad actor Robert Hughes will be released from Sydney's Long Bay Jail after being granted bail earlier this month. Lara Vella is there.
After renouncing his Australian citizenship in 2019, convicted pedophile Robert Hughes will make his way to Sydney's International Airport and fly to the United Kingdom, which will be his new home for the foreseeable future. There are, however, strict conditions to his release. He'll have to report to UK authorities within 3 days of his arrival, and they'll also have on record his passport and bank account details. The 73-year-old will live over there with his wife and says she'll make sure her husband doesn't have unsupervised contact with children.
Londoners are paying tribute to the lives lost in the Grenfell Tower fire on the tragedy's 5-year anniversary. The tower has been lit up green, and memorial services are planned at the base of the tower and Westminster Abbey later today. 72 people were killed in the inferno. The US Congressional Committee investigating the attack on the Capitol last year has been told Donald Trump repeatedly ignored pleas from his own team to stop making unfounded claims of voter fraud. The BBC's Naomi Iqbal reports.
Some of Mr Trump's key aides gave pre-recorded video evidence, including Attorney General William Barr and campaign spokesman Jason Miller. They said they had told Mr Trump he was wrong to declare victory on election night in November 2020 and to claim it was stolen. Mr Miller said Mr Trump had been acting on the advice of his close friend, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who Mr Miller described as being intoxicated that evening. The Commission doesn't have the power to prosecute, but says it can prove that Donald Trump caused the deadly riots on the Capitol and will recommend the Department of Justice to charge him.
Disney's latest animated movie, Lightyear, has been banned from cinemas in the United Arab Emirates. The movie centres on the character Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story franchise and contains a same-sex kiss. The country says the film is in violation of their media content standards. Now Now turning to 5AA sport and everything Socceroos, here's Tom Wren.
Oh, isn't it just, Mel? It is phenomenal. Socceroos goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne has become an instant national sporting hero, making the final and decisive save to get Australia through to our 5th World Cup. Australia beating Peru 5-4 in a tense penalty shootout in Qatar. Coach Graham Arnold says Redmayne in for the penalties was a tactical move, but Redmayne is playing down his hero status, telling Channel 10 the win was a whole team effort.
I'm not going to take credit this because the boys ran out 120 minutes and it's a team effort, it's a team game, so I can't burden any more credit than any other 27 that are here. I'm no hero. I just played my role like everyone else did.
Now that's our 5th World Cup in a row and 6th overall for the Socceroos. Let's go to the AFL, and Collingwood has jumped into the top 8 after a 26-point upset win against Melbourne. The result means the Demons have now lost 3 straight matches and have lost top spot to Brisbane. Meantime, the Crows and Port Adelaide will train today as they look ahead to their round 14 matches this weekend. And Bailey Smith is set to sit down with the AFL today to discuss a photo of him with an illicit substance. And Alex de Minaur has upset the 8th seed American Ralia Pelka 6-4, 6-4 in the first round of the Queen's Club tournament in London. It's the 5th time in as many meetings that de Minaur has beaten the American. And that's the 5AA sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help Samri's life-saving research. Join the Bright Walk July 23rd. Register at samribright.org.au.
In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace due to the Illuminate Festival. Road works to look out for today include Highgate. Restrictions apply for the Crossroad and Fullerton Road intersection upgrade. And also works at Ovingham, Torrens Road near Park Terrace. They're continuing affecting both directions. Busy right now, South Road at Karauta Park, with cameras Doothie Street, Malvern, and Torrens Road at Croydon Park. The barbecues galore end of financial year sale is here, with huge savings across a massive range of fireplaces. Get in quick for fireplaces starting from just $799, only at Barbecues Galore. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Hitachi Air Conditioners. Be comfortable all year round. Visit hitachieaircon.com.au.
Showers increasing for you Tuesday, 17. Showers tomorrow, 17. And 17 again on Thursday. Right now it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes to 8. Phil Curry coming up short. We've got some Best of SA tickets to give away. The big gala dinner is on Friday night. It's not too far off.
It's going to be a great night.
The Gawler line electrification has been not too far off for 14 years. It's finally here. Justin Lindock's called in about it. Morning to you, Justin.
How you going, boys? How are you?
Good, we're good, thanks, mate.
That's good. Mate, I just dropped the wife off this morning and she was unpleased about the Gawler line reopening as she's going to be getting into work now 20 minutes later than what she was when she was catching the bus.
20 minutes later?
Really?
20 minutes later. The bus used to be an express. You just go out the expressway straight into town. Easy. 20 minutes later she'll be there.
Where'd she catch it from, Justin?
From Gawler.
Oh, right.
So she'd drive from
way.
Lindock to Gawler and then jump on.
Yep, that's exactly right. And you know what the funny thing was when I dropped it off this morning? There was a diesel burner sitting there.
Yeah, Sam told us that before.
We heard there was one. One of the trips was with the diesel. So, yeah, going magnificently. So, same old trains taking even longer. Brilliant. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, mate.
More reviews. We'd love to hear them, 8223 0000 or shoot us a text on the Automasters text line. In the meantime, we're off to Canberra. Phil Curry from the Fin Review joins us. Morning to you, Phil.
Morning, Carl.
So, Phil, Albo's done his sort of world tour early on, and then we had the New Zealand Prime Minister here. His focus is going to be more domestic now, though, isn't it?
Well, for a couple of weeks, then he's off again. He's off to Europe at the end of this month, and then he's going to be in the Pacific Islands in July. So he's sort of a bit of both. You know, there's a lot of when you first get elected, new government, everyone wants to meet you, and you're sort of under pressure to go and do all these things. But I hear he's going to France at the end of the month to sort of kiss and make up with Macron after the fallout over the submarines at Morrison. So probably. Why is there? I assume he'll pop in at the NATO summit in Madrid where they'll be talking about Russia. But I suspect, it might be wise for him to spend more time home than away at the moment, given all the crisis going on here with energy and everything else.
Hey, speaking of France, we've now drawn a line under the relationship that we had with Naval Group, haven't we?
Yeah, so what happened on Saturday, Anthony Albanese announced that the cost of getting out of that contract was about $2 billion less than we thought. It was about 3.3 instead of 5.5. So I think the French sort of took mercy on us a bit after they changed government, because they didn't like Morrison. They're probably going to make us pay. But so we got a lazy $3.5 billion was the get out cost. But for whatever reason, Albanese said he's going to head to Paris at the end of this month to go and see Macron in person and patch up the relationship. So maybe that's the price of $2 billion. You've got to go over there and bounce scrape the side palace.
What's your reading on?
Oh, sorry, you go.
Sorry, Phil. What's your reading on the state of the relationship with China, given the defence minister meeting of defence ministers on the weekend?
Look, it's significant because two ministers haven't spoken to each other for years, probably 2 or 3 years since they've picked up a phone or anything. So the fact that Richard Marles, the defence minister, was at this security dialogue in Singapore, and someone sat him across the table from the Chinese guy, which is a pretty clever move. So they had no option but to talk to each other. So it wasn't like a formal meeting, but it's a start. I mean, neither side is reading too much into it. But look, if it just brings down the heat a bit and some of the rhetoric, as even the Chinese are admitting now, no one's really winning out of what's been going on, including them. So they are sort of keen, but it's all about who loses face and who saves face and so forth. But at the end of the day, they still have to make a meaningful gesture, like with the trade bans, which are completely politically motivated. They have nothing to do with international trade law. So we'd still be waiting for some sort of gesture like that before we're serious. But you take every little gain.
Absolutely. And Phil, obviously there's been a lot of talk in the last couple of weeks and all sorts of factors feeding into it, but energy prices are becoming a huge concern. What are we expecting to hear today about the electricity market?
Well, it's sort of like a day-to-day scramble over here. Yesterday and today, they're talking about load shedding, turning off the power. And it's a maximum of 6 degrees here in Canberra today. Sort of the problems, with the price of gas and everything, because all these coal-fired generators are offline at the moment. And what happened yesterday is the regulator ordered these companies to come back online. And they said, well, if we do that, we operate at a loss because the price of the fuel is so expensive. These are the geniuses 20 years ago thought it was a really good idea to privatise the electricity network and set up a market. Can you imagine a government-owned utility saying, sorry, we're not operating today because we're not making money, and so if we don't have any electricity. And this is basically now what's happening on the East Coast. Even though in Queensland they are still government-owned, they're all tied up, with the rules of this stupid national electricity market, which has just been the most complete and utter failure, in sort of market economics I can think of. And so we're sort of living day to day over here at the moment with regulators intervening and forcing people to turn their boilers back on and stuff so people don't freeze to death. It's brilliant, utterly brilliant.
Yeah, the cynicism is well placed, mate. Hey, great stuff as always, Phil. Phil Curry, the National Political Editor for the Financial Review. Thanks, mate.
It's coming up to 7 minutes to 8, and it's also coming up to our Best of SA dinner this Friday night. And Best of SA, of course, is about celebrating and profiling some of the great brands in our state. And today, we are celebrating Balhanna Nurseries.
Today I'm in the beautiful Adelaide Hills at Balhanna Nurseries. They wholesale stunning trees to your local nursery. And I'm chatting to manager Sam Luke. Sam, Balhanna Nurseries have been around for a long time. When did it all start?
Jane, it started in 1887, long before you or I were around.
Well, you must be doing something right to have survived that length of time.
Yeah, I think as you grow as a nursery, you work out what varieties are good for the South Australian environment, what takes off, what tastes good in the fruiting lines, and you slowly weed out the bad ones and end up with the top lines for your state.
This is a beautiful time of the year to be here in the Adelaide Hills, especially at your nursery. You have a lot of deciduous trees and they have this amazing colour about them. They're all so different.
This time of year is stunning. You know, right through the Adelaide Hills and even on the plains you get some really beautiful colours.
How do people find your trees when they go shopping?
Well, we always spruik the green bag. Look for the green bag. That's a telltale sign. We're pretty much ubiquitous across South Australia, so if it's a garden centre in South Australia, it'll probably be hosting our trees.
Now, I hear that you're growing into Victoria as well.
We are actually. The South Australian market's relatively small. We're doing what we can to sort of increase our volume, spreading into Victoria.
Okay, Sam, if you had to pick one tree, if you're on a desert island, you had to take one tree with you, what would it be?
Well, I know we're primarily a fruit tree nursery, but I love the Gleditsia sunburst. I've always loved yellow, and I've got one in my backyard. It's just beautiful.
Sam, thank you so much for once again being part of the Best of SA. I think this is about your 4th or 5th year. It's great to have a fabulous, very much South Australian business on board.
Thanks for having us on board. It's great to be part of the FIVEaa team.
8223 is the number. First caller through right now will win a $150 Balhana Nurseries voucher plus 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner. That's this Friday night. Looking forward to that at the Adelaide Oval. It's a great venue. Take a piece of the hills home from Balhana Nurseries via your local gardening centre. And it is Julie in Gould Creek who's coming to Best of SA. So, Julie, we'll see you there on the night.
Good on you, Julie. Look forward to meeting you. Good text here from Peter in the Barossa on the Automasters text line. If Bob Hawke was the newly elected PM, how would he handle the World Cup qualifier victory? I think we all know what Hawkey would have said. Any boss who sacks her worker for not turning up today is a bum.
Yeah, I think that would have been appropriate. Peru got a whole public holiday just to watch the game. Yeah. Not even in celebration.
So you say, I mean, because it's been a while since we've had a public holiday, you think we... Well, should we get one for qualifying?
I would have thought. I think it just should be a standing offer. What's one day every 4 years?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the long and ignoble history of soccer-related madness in Latin America, God knows what's happening in Lima right now. But, I mean, there's been matches like Mexico where they've qualified for the World Cup, which they always do anyway because we're one of the easiest groups going around. But there's been, like, prison guards who've gone and let, 37... highly dangerous criminals out of jail in all the excitement. Like, just utter madness. And, but, if we do have any Peruvian listeners, our hearts go out to you, because it's cruel.
Yeah, horrible way to get knocked out.
Better you than us.
That's right. All right, let's check traffic. We'll be back with more shortly.
Good morning. Well, in the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks today, some at Highgate. Restrictions apply for the Cross Road and Fullerton Road intersection upgrade. And also at Ovingham, works on Torrens Road near Park Terrace continue, expecting both directions speeds reduced. Busy right now, South Road at Karauta Park, and we've got cameras East Avenue, Clarence Park, and Main North Road at Blarathal. End of financial year sale now on at Optus. Get huge savings on Samsung phones and Galaxy Watch 4. Hurry, ends 2:30. Head into an Optus store today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive Officer of Western Hospital at Henley Beach. Cardiovascular disease is prevalent within our community. Younger people are dying unexpectedly or ignore the symptoms of heart disease. You can avoid heart attack by knowing the signs and practicing heart health. Our cardiologists and vascular surgeons consult at Western Hospital and provide a wide range of services from testing to intervention within state-of-the-art facilities. Don't be a statistic. Visit westernhospital.com.au.
Please don't hold this against me, but if buy urban bathrooms and kitchens is not your thing, well, that's okay. I mean, if people gushing over your new kitchen and bathroom means nothing to you, nothing at all, that's completely fine, I guess. But if you do appreciate millimetre-perfect craftsmanship and service of the highest standard, start here. Buyurban.com.au. Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Now, I'm about to tell you something that could well save your life. If you currently have a personal alert system that relies on a fixed landline or it's plugged into your NBN modem, you are right now at risk. If there is a power failure, this is serious, it will not work.
Now, look, it's a worry because people might be unaware that during a blackout, when you're trying to navigate around your home in the dark, accidents can happen, and if your NBN modem has lost power, there is no way for you to call for help.
Thankfully, Care Alert have a solution. So if you have a personal alert system that relies on a fixed landline or is plugged into your NBN modem, you may just be eligible to upgrade to the latest Care Alert smart dialer for just $99.
Now, look, it's staggeringly cheap. Normally you'd pay more, like $400. So paying just $99, and they're always trying to keep the prices down, the guys at Care Alert, $99 is a phenomenal price.
And right now, there's funding available for you to upgrade at a whopping 75% off.
So speak to the Care Alert team today. Call 1300 75 85 95 or visit their website, carealert.com.au.
Can you believe it? It's the end of financial year already. Hi, it's Callum here for Edwardstown Mazda. And if you're thinking about a new Mazda, now is the time to jump in. See the team at Edwardstown Mazda today for unbeatable end of financial year deals. LMVD 207428.
So, why go with NRG Solar?
The reason why we became an NRG Solar customer was because primarily we trusted Michael, and we've seen a lot of stuff on the internet about how cheap and nasty some of the goods were and some of the services. And Michael explained to us what NRG Solar did, and it seemed to us the logical way to go. We didn't seek other quotes because we were very trusting of Michael's expertise and that of the implementers of the system.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube.
Keep on running.
5AA Breakfast, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man.
10 to 8, John Blake coming up in just a moment. An alleged international drug kingpin is set to face court in Melbourne this afternoon. Chung Chak Lee was arrested in Bangkok in October 2020, was extradited to Melbourne this weekend to face drug trafficking charges. He's been accused of being part of a conspiracy to traffic 5 separate quantities of methamphetamine, totalling 40 kilos over 12 months back in 2012. The 66-year-old Chinese-British dual national is allegedly a key player in an organised drug cartel labelled The Company, with up to 70% of drugs in Australia allegedly linked to this organisation. Here's the AFP's Chrissy Barrett talking about it over the weekend.
The Australian Federal Police has an international network of partners that are committed to pursuing offenders and bringing them to justice. If you commit an offence, there is nowhere to hide. The AFP has the means and the patience to track you down.
70% of the drug trade in Australia belonging to this one group, The Company. I genuinely wonder, without being silly about it, where would that rank them amongst Australian companies? If you've got 70% of the entire drug trade...
I don't know what the
I'm
total
not trying to
drug trade
legitimise them, but
is
just as a
worth.
statistical quirk.
Well, I mean, you know...
They would be huge, wouldn't they?
There was a big discussion at Forbes magazine about whether they should do it or not. But like guys like El Chapo were like in the top 10 of global businesses when the Sinaloa cartel was still running, when he was the boss of it. So it's a valid question. And it's a vast industry. Otherwise, you know, there wouldn't be people falling over themselves to get into it. But, you know, I was thinking about that woman who appeared at the Christie's Beach, or a woman from Christie's Beach who got towed up, and rightly so, I guess, by the magistrate about her behaviour. The magistrate described her as a parasite. Her behaviour is in line with that description. But she's just this poor, you know, demented, screwed up woman running around Christie's because she's just totally fallen prey to meth. And I guess no one held her down and made her take it. But, you know, seeing her getting dragged through the courts, you think they don't get much more low level than that. So, heartening to see someone at the very top who'd have his flash cars and his, you know, flying first class around the world. Good to see a bastard like that getting his comeuppance for a change.
Bit of Stones news around this morning. It's not great news, unfortunately. Mick Jagger has COVID. So they're currently in Amsterdam.
What is he now, 78?
He's 78. Tested positive upon arriving for a show in Amsterdam. They're kicking off a European tour to celebrate the band's 60th anniversary. How many bands would have had a 60th anniversary tour? There can't be many, can there? So they're going to do it. They've had to cancel the show tonight. So we're wishing Mick Jagger all the best on 5AA Breakfast this morning.
You sort of wonder without Charlie how long they're going to keep going, the Stones. I think that they sort of lost a little bit of their soul when he died. But Mick Jagger, he's one of the fittest people going around. So I reckon he'll be right. But, yeah. Can't go on forever, though, surely.
No, 60th. It's just
he's only 2 years younger than John Howard.
Well, that is extraordinary.
They were born on the same day.
I've not thought
Maybe
about it that
3.
way before.
Yeah.
Well, John Howard walks. Maybe they were of an era where it was, they took pride in physical fitness.
Remember the Great Blakey sketch when he said, what if their lives had sort of been switched around? And he had oh, I can't get now. It was so good. It's one of my favourite Blakeys of all time.
But it's time for...
And Mick going, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
It is time for John Blake. Thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, Interstate Freight Distribution, Warehousing and Local Adelaide Couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
Now, the latest news with Wallace Fogg.
Good morning, early risers and Queen's birthday celebrators. This is Wallace Fogg with another 5AA News Update. Excited commuters on Sunday as the newly electrified Gawler to Adelaide rail line opened to the public. Transport Minister Tom Koutsantonis said the more ugly poles and wires we can have strung up overhead like an out-of-control giant spider's cobweb, the better. We've done it with the trams in the CBD, and now we've spread the cobweb out to Gawler. Why should city folk have all the fun of visual pollution? There are now calls for mask mandates for public transport to be extended so that fines for not wearing one will help pay for the electricity needed to run it. In other news, with the Logies coming up next Sunday, speculation as to who will take out the coveted gold Logie is rife. Nominees are Tom Gleeson, Hamish Blake, Melissa Leong, Sonia Kruger, Julia Morris, Ray Maher and Carl Stefanovic. According to industry insiders, all the nominees seem blissfully unaware that no one watches free-to-air TV anymore, and so getting an award for being the most popular person on it really doesn't mean much. However, if Carl Stefanovic won it, that would be a historic moment in being the most popular person on a medium that no one watches on a show that has no audience. And finally, South Australians will have the chance to tell the government where they would like the new aquatic centre to be located. The $80 million project's location will be open to public consultation this week because the Malinauskas government has realised it's not experienced enough to make those tough decisions on its own. Lord Mayor Sandy Verschaw said it was good to see the government taking its time and using taxpayers' money because the idea of getting it done quickly and for free is not the way good governance should be done. And that's the news for this Tuesday. I'm Wallace Fogg. More 5AA News coming up at 8 o'clock, or as close as we can get.
We'll have more from John Blake after 8:30 when we go behind closed doors. A few more texts coming through on the Automasters text line before 5AA News with Mel Usher.
Lovely one here from Sean. Love it when our listeners send photos into the old Automasters text line. Sean, lucky him, looks like he's making the most of the long weekend. Unless he's just lucky enough to live on the river. Sent a beautiful picture of the sunrise at Murray Bridge looking over the river. One here from Jimbo says, one question that needs to be asked now with the Socceroos winning, has Australia earned the right to host the Soccer World Cup? In my mind, the answer is yes. Well, we had our big chance and we got one vote, thanks to the incorruptible people at FIFA there, giving it to Russia and Qatar.
It'd be on right now, usually, if not for the fact that, it's too hot to play there.
You know what I reckon we should do? And this would be massive. This would give us the enduring love and respect of our closest neighbour. And for FIFA, the expansionist power that they are, if you want to tap into a huge market, and they are soccer mad. I went to see Roger Miller, the former Cameroonian. He played a season with one of the Indonesian sides. I saw him play in Jakarta. A joint Australia/Indonesia bid to host the World Cup.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, we should do that. You're right. And that league is growing massively over there at the moment as well. 2 to 8, 5AA News on the way. Breaking at 8 coming up very shortly. Back with more in a moment.
I'm Jane, Nursing Director at Flinders Medical Centre. Remember, double vaxxed isn't fully vaxxed, and a third shot is your best shot at not ending up in hospital. Book your third COVID shot now.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
With your generosity, the Salvos can help women and children find a way out of violence and a way back into a safe and stable life. Donate to the Red Shield Appeal at salvationarmy.org.au and help us leave no one in need.
Between interest rates and electricity prices, rent and bills are through the roof.
And an electricity bill is enough to put anyone on edge, but good news for renters. If you're feeling the pinch, EcoVantage might be able to help.
If your rent is below $400 per week, your home might qualify for a free EcoVantage heat pump changeover thanks to federal and state government incentives.
Now, hot water can chew up about 40% of your power bill, but a heat pump can bring that right down. They're up to 80% more efficient than traditional hot water systems.
So if you ask your landlord to request an EcoVantage heat pump upgrade, it means you get to save hundreds on your power bills and your landlord gets a free hot water service. Win-win.
Certainly is. So chat to your landlord or your agent and ask for EcoVantage today. Visit ecovantage.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Speak with One Solution and they'll tell you cybercrime is not a big business problem, a government problem or a small enterprise problem. It's everyone's problem. Ransomware, malware and adware remain the #1 threat. One call to One Solution will put your business in a safe place. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Get in touch with One Solution, winner of the National Telstra Customer Experience Award. onesolution.net.au.
With tax time approaching, it's time to take advantage of the federal government's instant asset write-off. It's also a great time to speak to Toyota about a new forklift for your business. Check out their huge range of quality Toyota forklifts, pallet jacks, walkie stackers, reach forklifts and more. With legendary reliability and safety, plus cleaner, greener electric options. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Terms and conditions apply.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers increasing 17 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. physioextra.com.
The Socceroos are into the World Cup following a thrilling penalty shootout against Peru in this morning's qualifier. Andrew Redmayne putting the team through.
It's all on this for Peru. Alex Valera. The save! It's a save that means the world to Australia. It's a save that means the World Cup for Australia.
That audio thanks to 10, and Tom Wren will have more on the win in sport. Shop trading hours on public holidays are back in the spotlight. The city and suburbs were granted exemptions this time last year to trade on the holiday Monday under the Marshall government. But the new state government stance on public holiday trading meant only Rundle Mall was open for business yesterday. These people have told Seven it was disappointing to see the shops closed in the metro area.
I'm used to big cities not really closing for anything.
I'm originally from Sydney, everything's open.
It's weird, but at least they get the day off.
A second day of hearings into the attack on the US Capitol building has heard Donald Trump was detached from reality. His former Attorney General, William Barr, testified that as the results of the last presidential election came in, Mr. Trump showed no interest in facts, instead preferring to embrace nonsense and crazy stuff.
I made it clear I did not agree with the idea of saying the election was stolen and putting out this stuff, which I told the president was bullshit. And, I didn't want to be a part of it, and that's one of the reasons that went into me deciding to leave when I did.
Prince Andrew has been forced to remain out of public view after a decision was made to exclude him from a traditional procession at Windsor Castle. Ellie Walsh has the story.
The beleaguered Duke of York was due to appear alongside senior royals today for the annual Garter Day celebrations, but at the 11th hour, Buckingham Palace said a family decision had been made and the Duke would no longer appear publicly. Prince Andrew stepped back from public life earlier this year after facing a civil sexual lawsuit. He denied the allegations but reached a financial settlement with his Australian accuser Virginia Dufresne in March.
There are calls for more of us to roll up our sleeves this World Blood Donor Day to save the lives of people with leukemia. People undergoing cancer treatment use 1/3 of all donated blood and plasma. The Leukemia Foundation's Catherine Huntley says demand for donations will ramp up over the next decade.
Currently 110,000 Australians are living with blood cancer, and we see that rising to 275,000 by 2035, meaning that currently with only 3.5% of Australians regularly donating blood, we need more than 13 million who could give blood who currently aren't to consider being a blood donor.
The next series of Doctor Who will not only have a new Time Lord, but a new villain as well. American actor Neil Patrick Harris has joined the cast. Filming is underway on the new season, which will air next year. Now turning to FIVEaa Sport, here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Yes, my 8-year-old will be absolutely delighted with that news. He's a huge fan. Let's start with soccer, though. Australia has stunned the higher-ranked Peru to clinch a place at a 5th straight World Cup after a dramatic 5-4 penalty win shootout in Qatar. Hero goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne has brought off the bench just before the end of extra time, sealing the win by saving the final goal in the penalty shootout. Australian supporters in the stadium erupted, waving Aussie flags, while some players fell to the ground with delight and emotion. Coach Graham Arnold has told Channel 10 it was a massive effort.
I believe this is one of the greatest achievements ever to qualify for this World Cup, the way we've had to go through things. 20 World Cup qualifiers, and we played 16 away from home. It's been tough, but we did it.
Yeah, they certainly did. Great effort. The Socceroos are now grouped with France, Denmark and Tunisia for the World Cup, which begins in November. The Socceroos' first match will be against France on the morning of November 23, about 5:30am our time. To AFL now, and the Crows will be back to work today after 4 days off during the bye in round 13. Adelaide should regain Josh Rochelle, Luke Brown and Jordan Butts for their clash against Gold Coast on Sunday. Meantime, Melbourne has suffered its third straight loss, with Collingwood winning the Queen's Birthday clash by 26 points. Fast bowler Kane Richardson is out of Australia's ODI series against Sri Lanka because of a hamstring injury. The first of the ODIs begins tonight. The Tampa Bay Lightning are through to their third Stanley Cup playoffs in a row after beating the New York Rangers 2-1 to take out the best-of-7 series 4-2. And the NBA playoffs will continue this morning with the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors to battle it out in Game 5. The best-of-7 series is currently locked at 2-2. And that's the FIVEaa Sport.
Now checking FIVEaa traffic.
Help SAMRI's life-saving research. Join the Bright Walk July 23rd. Register at samribright.org.au.
In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Look out for works at Woodville today. That's along Port Road heading inbound, causing delays from Cheltenham Parade to Kilkenny Road. And also works at Ovingham Torrens Road near Park Terrace. That's affecting both directions. Busy at the moment, South Road at Karata Park. And we've got a camera at Caulfield Avenue at Clarence Gardens. Feeling hungry? Head into OTR now, grab a sausage roll and a traveller pie for only $6. Available at OTR for a limited time only. OTR, making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEaa.
Now the FIVEaa forecast.
Hitachi Air Conditioners. Be comfortable all year round. Visit hitachieaircon.com.au.
Heading for a top of 17 today, with showers increasing. Showers tomorrow, 17. Showers easing on Thursday, 17. Right now it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on FIVEaa.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. FIVEaa Breakfast.
7 minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in a moment. We'll get some reviews from commuters on the first peak hour service of the Gawler line this morning. Sam Daddo was at Adelaide train station catching people as they got off. A few were bemused that there was a diesel train that did one of the trips. That's a bit of a non-event for those people, but we will talk about the electrification, the electrified Gawler line opening since the 2008 promise.
It's electrifying, as John Travolta said.
It's electrifying. That's coming up in just a moment. And also, we tried to have a bit of listener solidarity around the first half hour of the program in the Socceroos. Not a call that took place. It was just happened to be polite conversation around what was transpiring in that penalty shootout. This is definitely not a call. The video of it is being shared widely on Twitter at the moment. I know we might play you some of the audio very shortly.
I like the person who asked on Twitter. Did anybody have their alarm set to have the the clock radio go off at 6:25, because if they did, they would have woken up to the sounds of this.
We'll play you a bit if you missed it in a moment, against our better judgment. And also, this hour, Themis is coming up from Sprout, who we've chatted to a number of times in the past. There's this big dinner coming up that I think you're going to want to hear about. It's going to be absolutely tremendous. Time for Breaking Note.
Well, it looks like South Australia is going to be the first state to have a voice proper in line with the recommendations of the Uluru Statement. For those of you who've heard the term voice being bandied about and sort of scratching your heads about what it means, a voice is... Its critics describe it as a third chamber and say, oh, this represents parliamentary democracy. Those who are advocating for it, and I stress that it's not just Labor Party people, there's a lot of people on the Liberal side of politics who are in favour of it too, and some Conservative commentators, most notably Chris Kenny, writing in The Australian. He's written quite a few very positive articles about it. So it's not a third chamber. What it is an advisory body. It's probably going to be part elected, part appointed, of Indigenous people, leaders from their community, who can simply advise the Parliament about laws that are being designed to have effect in relation to Indigenous communities. Now, with South Australia going first, the Attorney-General, Kaya Ma, when I spoke to him over the weekend, he said he hopes that us getting a voice up and running next year in the context of the broader national conversation, because it will require at the federal level a referendum to be put to the people, which is probably going to happen at the same time as the next election in 3 years' time. But Kaya Ma believes that when people see our version of the voice up and running, they'll be reassured that it's not some kind of threat to our democracy, that it doesn't undermine the authority of the Parliament. Interestingly, too, spoke to Josh Teague, who's the Shadow Attorney-General and also Shadow Minister for Indigenous Affairs. And Josh said that the Liberal Party here, which had a look at doing a voice itself during the life of the Marshall government, is very favourably disposed towards it. So whether you're a fan of the idea or not, it looks like South Australia is going to be the first cab off the rank, and it's going to give us a bit of a sneak preview as to how it could work federally.
11 minutes after 8, the Gawler line reopening on Sunday has been a big story. Today's the first really interesting test in terms of the sort of traffic that will go through it peak hour wise. Big story for people in the northern suburbs, of course, who have been waiting on this promise since 2008. So what we did to get a series of eyewitness accounts about how it's played out today is send Sam Datto, our producer, down to the Adelaide railway station to speak with some of the people that got off the line. Here's how it played out earlier.
Carlene, what was it like this morning?
Oh, it was really good. It was very smooth, very quiet, and it wasn't packed.
Wasn't packed. Did you have an electric train?
Yes, we did. Very clean, very smooth and quiet, and probably 10 people in each carriage.
So were you ones that suffered the last year and a half on buses?
Absolutely, yes, and bus breakdowns, and we'd all have to get off on Churchill Road and wait for the next bus.
So how much quicker was it compared to the bus now?
Oh yeah, look, it's 15 minutes quicker than the bus.
So I'm here with Ian at the railway station.
Not as quick as the express bus we used to get, but it's good service.
Did you get electric or diesel this morning?
Diesel. We got diesel this morning, yeah.
Much difference then?
Not a great deal of difference, no.
So I'm here with Dean. He's just got off the Gawler line on this Tuesday morning. What was it like, Dean?
Okay, what was it like? Cold. Yes, I was actually surprised they were running one of the diesel engines and not the electric, to be honest. But apart from that, it was pretty normal.
And were you a regular user before the line was shut?
Oh yes, very much, for years.
So you're happy that it's back?
I'm very happy it's back, yes. I get a little car sick.
So mixed reviews on the Gawler line electrification, or wasn't quite electrified for a couple of people that took it this morning. Interesting, those that had gotten used to the express bus service have found that the resumption of the train is actually slowing down their journey significantly.
Yeah.
That'd be...
The diesel thing's funny. It reminds me a bit of when the old renewables cacked themselves during the life of the Weatherall government, so we had to buy those diesel generators. So what you like about fossil fuels, they get the job done.
Not bad as a backup.
Yeah, that's right. Just kick that in the guts. That'll keep us going for a while.
My voice is struggling. It's just
mine
about
is too.
gone, and it's because of the fact that we didn't plan it like this, but it so happened that when we got on the air this morning, we'd been up watching the Socceroos World Cup qualifier in Doha against Peru. Started at 3:30, went to extra time, got through extra time, and went to a penalty shootout. The penalty shootout played out live during the start of the program, and we definitely didn't call all the action, but we did work it into the conversation a little bit.
And they didn't play like it. They played like the better side. This just feels like, it always feels like a lottery. So here we go. Redmayne looking large. Yes! It's the post! Oh, he did it up, Redmayne, dancing on the line. It's all square in the shootout. But we're not calling it, of course. No, we're not. This is all part of normal programming with the Weather Bureau coming up in a moment too.
Yeah, see, that's why technically there was nothing about it that was a call. That was the goal that pulled Australia back from being one behind in the shootout. Martin Boyle having missed the very first spot kick of the shootout, and then it was all down to the man, the super sub, Andrew Redmayne, the goalkeeper that had everyone in the country scratching their head. What are we subbing out the captain of the Australian side for on the eve of on the cusp of a shootout? Well, this is why.
Alex Valera. And Redmayne makes the save. It's a save that means the world to Australia. It's a save that means the World Cup for Australia.
Courtesy of Simon Hill on Channel 10, who did a wonderful job. The coverage was just superb.
It was. Simon Hill, he's such a good commentator. I've still got the words from the Kaiserslautern Japan v Australia game ringing in my ears. Cahill, 10 Cahill! He's such a great commentator.
He's got moments like that. C. Senor C.
Oh, yeah.
He scored the free kick in the grand final at Adelaide Oval. So there'll be doubtless lots about that. The sports show with Stephen Rowe tonight is going to be must-listen-to radio, so make sure you tune into that a little bit later. He was marching around the house with his trumpet playing Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. And you can imagine what that would have been like to wake up to this morning if you're a member of the Rowe family.
And probably the immediate neighbours as well.
I would have thought. Let's have a look at the fuel situation. Fuel Watch, find the cheapest fuel in an instant. Download the free My RAA app from your app store today. Here are the cheap spots we've found at the Liberty Maringi Avenue, Camden Park, $1.84.5. The Mobile Lower Northeast Road Paradise, $1.85.5. The United Grand Junction Road Rosewater, $1.83.9. And the cheapest diesel, the United Phillip Highway Elizabeth South, $2.02.9. We'll check traffic and be back with more in a moment.
Thanks, Will. In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks to look out for today. Ovingham, Torrens Road near Park Terrace. They're continuing and affecting both directions. Speeds reduced. And also works at Woodville. It's Port Road heading inbound, causing delays from Cheltenham Parade to Kilkenny Road. Busy right now, South Road as you're driving through Karauta Park. And look out for a camera, Eliza Place at Panorama. Looking for a lower home loan rate? Wherever you are, your local Aussie broker can help find you a better deal. Come in store or visit aussie.com.au today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowe's Sports Show.
How good's this? Adelaide United star. He is a Socceroos star. He's live from Qatar for the Peru match early Tuesday morning. Come on. Craig Goodwin, welcome.
Everyone after the last game is really excited.
4 p.m. weekdays.
Obviously there's the nerves, but at the end of the day, these are the games in your career that you dream of. So to be involved in something like this is massive.
This can be your team's Aloisi Schwarzer-Kuehl moment of 05. I mean, it is enormous.
Rowe's Sports Show on 5AA.
Hi, it's Callum here. I love the look on people's faces when I serve them up a 5-star dish. And the same goes for the team at Edwardstown Mazda. They love the look on people's faces when they first get behind the wheel of their brand new Mazda. It's priceless. So remember, if you're looking for something small, medium or large, Edwardstown Mazda has the pick of the bunch all ready to drive away during their end of financial year sale on now. LMVD 207428.
Lots of memories in this home. This door must have slammed 1,000 times. And this window, I climbed through it with everything I could hold, including my 2-year-old.
Domestic violence is the #1 cause of homelessness for women and children. Don't make them choose between a violent home and the streets. Donate today at vinnies.org.au.
Now, if you're the type of person that likes routine, the type that takes comfort in the familiar, you're likely to be the type of person that appreciates the simple, everyday pleasures of a trip to our fantastic Central Market.
The Adelaide Central Market is always a good idea.
I bought some excellent cheese there at the smelly cheese shop on Friday called Mimolette from France. Absolutely life-changingly excellent. They've got all sorts of cool stuff at the Central Market, and the market that you know and love, it's open and trading as always. Every time you go in there, you see familiar faces, and you remember just how much you love it. It's got that safe, happy, friendly feel.
And of course, it's also a great showcase of the best South Australian produce.
Is it ever? It's so good to know that our market is always there, and with over 70 traders under the one roof, there's something for everyone. The Adelaide Central Market, a routine you want to stick with. Open Tuesday to Saturday, and of course, late night on Friday nights.
Nick Chigwidden from Physio Extra talks about how One Solution streamlined their business.
At Physio Extra, we needed to upgrade our IT and communication systems, which is critical to us having a successful business. We spoke to the guys at One Solution, and they provided us with a fantastic strategy on how we could bring our phone and our IT under the one roof. The ongoing service and support they've provided us is also excellent. I certainly recommend One Solution for any business.
Visit onesolution.net.au, winner of the National Telstra Customer Experience Award.
So, why go with NRG Solar?
My contact with NRG Solar was through the receptionist who made an appointment for us and let us know exactly the date that people were coming to implement the system. They came punctually on the day. They communicated with us. They told us how to use the meter and so on, and overall cleaned up after themselves. We were very happy with the service provided by NRG Solar.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
20 minutes after 8. Breaking 8 coming up after 8 o'clock this morning.
What are you saying?
Sorry, behind closed doors. I always do that, don't I? So we shouldn't have
no,
two
you don't always do it. I think you always do it when you got out of bed at 3:15.
After 8:30 behind closed doors. Yeah, I know.
Right.
They can't. I'm glad they don't play games every week, the Socceroos.
No.
My brain's fried.
Exactly.
Hey, this is going to be fun. The Elvis movie looks spectacular. We've got double passes to give away to the Elvis biopic that was being put together by Australian director Baz Luhrmann, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks.
In that moment, Elvis the man was sacrificed, and Elvis the God was born.
I'm gonna show you what the real Elvis is like tonight.
You're looking for trouble? You came to the right place. You're looking for trouble? Look right in my face.
We've got a chance for you to win those tickets right now on 8223 0055. You need to tell us the best schnitzel in town. Where do you get it? Tell us the suburb, tell us the pub. Maybe you make them at home. Doesn't matter. 8223 0055, because the schnitty's in the news, and it's because it relates to the
cost of the schnitty, the salad.
Yeah, I think that's part of the schnitty, isn't it?
Well, not for a lot of people. They're sending them back with the salad uneaten. And there's a pub in Allendale North, which is near Kapunda. The owner, or the chef there, Chelsea Harris, great piece in the Tizer by Antimo Yanella today. She put a picture up on Facebook. She just paid $35 for a 1.5 kilogram box of lettuce, which is probably, about 4 lettuces? You buy them in bulk like that, you expect them to save some money, not lose it. But because so many people don't eat the salad, pubs are, not all pubs, but some pubs are now saying, and certainly the Wheat Sheaf's canvassing it, asking people in advance, hey, listen, are you going to eat the salad? Because if you're not, we won't give you one.
It's too expensive just to be throwing in the bin.
I tell you like this, Leith Forrest.
Not a big salad guy.
Not a big vegetable fan.
Not a big salad guy.
No.
Let's find out where the best schnitzels are. They might be just... Now it's sort of schnitzel, no salad required. Maybe you'll have to start paying extra to get a salad on the side the way things are going.
Who knows?
Jim in Fulham Gardens, where's the best schnitty in town?
Well, I reckon the Lockleys Hotel, not only the best schnitty, but also the best steak. And the service is fantastic.
Good spot, the Lockleys.
Nice pub.
Let's go to Reno in Torrensville. What do you reckon the best is, Reno?
Good morning, guys. I'm like you, Will. I'm just delirious at the moment. I'm trying to stay awake.
Yeah, I don't know what's
I
happening.
wake up at 3 o'clock. You're better off waking up at 6 and watching the penalty shootout. But
but you earn it the right way, Reno.
You got to suffer for the reward at the end, mate.
But I can't wait to see your spot that you carried on like pork chops when the goal was scored, when he saves it, I mean. That was great.
Yeah, there might be a video knocking around somewhere.
Anyway, I reckon Mama Ursula's.
Mama Ursula? Hang on, who's Mama Ursula? Is that your own mum?
That's my mum. That's the best schnitzel in town.
Oh, what was their secret, Reno, or can you not share it?
Oh, no. Mum won't share the secret.
Okay, no, fair enough. No, but I like that, though. Yeah, homemade schnitzels should be in the conversation. Daniel in Shido Park, good morning.
Yeah, morning, mate. Went to the Governor High March Sunday night, watch a band, Tumbleweed. Bloody awesome band.
The Weed,
mate.
Wollongong's finest.
Yeah, it was very loud, believe me. But the schnitzel at the Governor High March was to die for, mate. Unbelievable.
That sounds like a good night.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Steady in the Weed, fantastic.
Yep. Thank you, Daniel. Let's go to Sharon. Good morning to you, Sharon.
Good morning. I think the best schnitzel in Adelaide is at the Blackwood RSL.
Oh, the Blackwood. I'm not familiar with the Blackwood RSL.
Fantastic. We had my brother's 40th birthday there on the weekends, and it was great.
Lovely.
That's a great recommendation, Sharon. Thank you. Let's go to Clarence Gardens. Tyson, good morning.
Morning, boys. The best city in town is at the Earl Leicester.
They're famous there, aren't they?
Oh, they're whopping. You can get two sizes. Yeah,
They've got about 10 different flavours. Yeah, mate. Best in town.
Good pick.
All right.
Have you got one, Will? Have you got a favourite? I'm going with Jarmas.
I think Jarmas is a good safe bet. They to me feel like they're proper traditional schnitzels.
Yeah, the authentic Australian. Yeah. But I love getting one at the Goodie Park too because it's your local. I reckon everyone just loves their local schnitty. And let's be honest, have you ever had a bad one?
No.
There's no such thing as a bad schnitzel.
I think the variance on a schnitzel has got to be the lowest among any form of food. The good to the bad. They're just all good.
It's like, have you ever had a bad Chico roll? No.
Is a Chico roll food?
Yeah, most of it's food.
Okay.
Let's give it to Sharon. I like that one. We don't hear enough about our RSLs, the old rissoles. Sharon, for the Blackwood RSL. She can win.
All right. You're off to see the Elvis film, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, the biopic of the king of rock and roll, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks at Wallace Cinemas, June 23. Book your tickets now at wallace.com.au. Sapole just tweeted about a traffic hazard. There are reports of a two-car crash on the Golden Way at Windvale, which is causing significant delays for southbound traffic. Please take care if driving in the area.
Speaking of food, I saw over the weekend that now that the McDonald's has pulled out of Russia completely, the Russians have banded together. This is in Moscow. They've started in Moscow. They've relaunched 12 of the old McDonald's restaurants by trying to completely mimic the menu. They've come up with a new name for the burger chain, Vkushno Tochka, which means tasty and that's it. And the mayor of
Tasty, that's it.
Tasty, and that's it. Vkushno Tochka, and the mayor of Moscow was there, and he's very proudly and defiantly saying, "We will show that." I won't do the accent. He says, "We will show that we can do exactly the same quality burgers." And then he says, "Using our own chicken, our own tomatoes, and our own cucumber."
Cucumber.
Now, you were going all right, Vlad, until you got to the cucumber bit. Has anyone ever put cucumber on a hamburger?
Yeah, that's odd, isn't it? Maybe that's something. Maybe that'd be the evolution that there's going to be. What is the place called again?
Vkushno Tochka.
So what's the shortened version? So Mackie D's, the Golden Arches, Vushkas?
Vukas.
You know Vukas?
Going down to Vukas.
What do you reckon?
I think it's going to take
Vukas?
off, not with all the free cucumber. Would you like to supersize that to a full continental cucumber? No, I'll just stick with the Lebanese one, thanks.
Claudia says, bread and bone in the city, best chicken schnitzel, gorgeous crunchy crumb and very succulent chicken fillet. Well, good on you, Claudia. That sounds excellent. Suey's Christie's Beach says, like Leith, I don't eat rabbit food. Best schnitty, mine, made right here, usually chicken. Thank you for that. 82230000 is the number. You can text us on the Automasters text line as well, like so many listeners have over the course of the morning. 5AA News is coming up. Back with more in a moment.
Hey, it's Callum here. It's not by chance that Edwardstown Mazda is located bang on South Road. They wanted to make it easy to get your car serviced. Any make or model. Make a pit stop at Edwardstown Mazda. It's gotta be edwardstownmazda.com.au.
We lost Dad to prostate cancer.
Breast cancer nearly took Mum away.
My little brother is living with leukemia.
My pa caught his bowel cancer early.
Make your donation as personal as your story. You can target the cancer that's hurt you most with Cancer Council SA. Learn more or donate at cancersa.org.au.
If you're building a new home or renovating, don't forget to include blinds and curtains in your build plans. Talk to Rundle Blinds and Curtains at Kings Park. They can save you time and money and give you so many installation options for your window furnishings.
Smart home technologies have exploded for window furnishings. For seamless motorisation and automation, plan for your hardwiring so you can make the most out of the latest innovations. Rundle Blinds and Curtains can recess your blinds and curtains into the ceiling to hide all your ugly componentry like headers, tracking and wiring, and the result looks so modern and sleek.
Rundle Blinds and Curtains are Adelaide's premier window furnishings company. Bring your dream home designs to life by booking in a consultation with their expert team.
Contact them on 82741210 or their website rundleblinds.com.au.
Construction of 88 O'Connell has commenced. This is truly one of the most impressive developments in Adelaide for a very long time. 88 O'Connell will encapsulate connected living, community and style with boutiques, retail and culinary experiences on your doorstep. 2 and 3 bedroom apartments are still available from $1.1 million. Visit the new display suite at 53 O'Connell Street, North Adelaide. Proudly developed by Commercial and General, creating South Australian communities for over 25 years.
Attention dilly-dalliers. If you thought you'd run out of time to score a great end of financial year deal on a new Volkswagen, listen to this. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen is about to receive truckloads of new Volkswagens, and they're available at amazing end of financial year prices. And remember Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for servicing too, with next day servicing and free loan cars. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle or delay. Get a great deal on Volkswagen now. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers increasing 17 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Physio Extra hands-on physio at 6 locations. Even more convenient now with online bookings at physioextra.com.
It was an early start for soccer fans this morning, but it paid off. The Socceroos qualifying for the World Cup after defeating Peru in a penalty shootout. These fans ecstatic that the Aussies finally got the job done.
What an amazing performance. Peru are an amazing team. We've done amazingly.
We always believe, never gave up.
I'm about to cry. This is it. We made it.
Tom Wren will have all the details about the win in sport. There'll be a court appearance today following a shooting incident at Pennington. Patrols were called to a house in Harrington Street yesterday after the occupant reported a shot being fired at his property. Senior Constable Matt Brown says a small hole was found in a bedroom window at the rear.
So investigations led police to a nearby address where they arrested the man known to the victim. The 53-year-old man from Pennington was charged with endangering life. He was refused bail to appear in court today.
A brutal flu season is hitting Australian children and teenagers the hardest. There have been almost 88,000 flu cases reported this year, with 5 to 19-year-olds experiencing the highest notification rates. More than half of the cases were diagnosed in the fortnight to June 5. We're being asked to have our say on the location of the new $82 million Adelaide Aquatic Centre. Local MP Lucy Hood says public consultation starts today.
It will be on the same part that the existing centre is on, but we're asking the public which site that they would prefer it be built on. So we're looking at the southeast, southwest and northeast corner of Part 2. Now, importantly, while the new centre is built, we're going to make sure that the current facility is still operating.
An inquiry into last year's storming of the US Capitol has heard former President Donald Trump repeatedly ignored pleas to stop making unfounded claims of voter fraud. On the second day of public hearings, the panel focused on Mr. Trump's accusations the presidential election was rigged. Former Philadelphia official Al Schmidt says claims of dead people voting were investigated in full.
Not only was there not evidence of 8,000 dead voters voting in Pennsylvania, there wasn't evidence of 8. We took seriously every case that was referred to us, no matter how fantastical, no matter how absurd, and took every one of those seriously.
There are calls for more of us to give blood this World Blood Donor Day. More than a third of donated blood products is being used by those undergoing cancer treatment. Just 3.5% of us roll up our sleeves regularly. The Leukaemia Foundation's Catherine Huntley says anyone between 18 and 75 and weighing more than 50 kilograms could be eligible to donate.
They can also donate plasma. It's an easy process and something can make a real difference to those facing life-threatening diagnoses like blood cancer.
And the Rolling Stones European tour has been put on hold because Mick Jagger has tested positive for COVID. Now turning to FIVEaa Sport and everything about this morning's big game with the Socceroos. Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Yes, let's start there. The Socceroos are off to the World Cup after a heart-stopping win over Peru. Scores were level at 0-0 after extra time. Australia winning 5-4 on penalties. Standing goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne the hero. Mitch Duke says his side won against all odds.
We've gone the hard way. So many people wrote us off. I'm just so proud of the boys. Everyone played their part. Redder's getting dragged in for the pens. He's done unbelievable. That was for Australia.
It certainly was. Outstanding effort there to football now, and the Crows and Port will train today ahead of their round 14 matches this weekend. Meantime, yesterday it was Melbourne getting it done against Collingwood by 26 points. Max Gawn was subbed off with an ankle injury. Simon Goodwin says he'll benefit with the 4 days off.
The 4 days off have come at a good time for Max. So I'm sure he'll head down to Blairgowrie and nestle in front of the fire, but he's got a pretty sore back and a sore ankle and a few knocks, but he'll be right. He's a big boy. He's the leader of our footy club, and he'll bounce back.
Yeah, Collingwood winning that match by 26 points. And Alex de Minaur has beaten 8th seed American Riley Opelka 6-4, 6-4 in the first round of the Queen's Club tournament in London. And that's the FIVEaa Sport.
Now checking FIVEaa traffic.
Help Samri's life-saving research. Join the Bright Walk July 23rd. Register at samribright.org.au.
In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks to look out for today. Got some activity at Cross Road and Fullerton Road. That's for the intersection upgrade there. Woodville works along Port Road heading inbound, causing a few delays at the moment. That's from Cheltenham Parade to Kilkenny Road. Busy South Road at Karratha Park. And we've got cameras Addison Road, Pennington and Duthie Street at Malvern. Get $20 off at Coles when you spend $250 or more online. Ends today. Head to coles.com.au and use promo code TAKE20. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEaa.
Now the FIVEaa weather.
Hitachi Air Conditioners. Be comfortable all year round. Visit hitachieaircon.com.au.
Showers increasing 17 for your Tuesday. Showers tomorrow 17. Thursday showers easing 17. Right now it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on FIVEaa.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. FIVEaa Breakfast.
24 minutes to 9 behind closed doors is coming up. I'm going to speak with Themis Grasidas from Sprout Kitchen shortly too.
I'd like to read this text out too from Stephen. Bit of a good-natured SA NFL-related sledging. He says, "Good morning, Pembo. I think the Socceroos scored more goals than Sturt did yesterday. Calm the Bays." As I said to my wife at the game yesterday, I think Glenelg are a massive chance of losing another grand final this year, the way they're playing.
Themis is currently delayed from being in the studio because of the road closures at Rundle Road, where there's going to be a stack of people that get caught by this, I suspect.
Now, this is a story, this. Like, we all gnash our teeth and tut-tut, well, certain types of people do, about V8s. What about road closures in the name of art?
Well, apparently they're all okay. Well, we asked the Lord Mayor about that when she came on a couple of weeks ago.
Don't mention the war.
That's right. So they're closed for 12 weeks.
12? The V8s don't do that. Nah. It doesn't take 12 weeks for the supercars.
So between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace, there's going to be issues.
It's a bit of a two Adelaide story, isn't it?
Completely. Two different competing interests. One's a good road closure, another's a bad road closure, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
We might as well do some more texts on the Automasters text line.
Yeah. Bad schnitties. Oh, we're not going to go down the path of bagging places that have allegedly served bad schnitties, although I note that none of them appear to be hotels in South Australia. Someone had a bad experience in Mount Buller. Apparently the crumbs were falling off. Getting a whole stack of messages still about the Socceroos. People are cock-a-hoop about that. And, Yeah, it's going to be a long and punishing day, I think, for a lot of people, those who did what we did. Well, it's not that big a difference, particularly for you, because you're normally up at 4:15, aren't you?
Yeah, so 45 minutes earlier wasn't too bad. About an hour earlier, actually, because I wanted to have a shower. And
Sam's sledging me in my ear. It was about 2 hours and 35 minutes earlier than I normally get up.
Well, we had Rowie playing the trumpet, waking up his household. I've got the pregnant wife at home, wasn't able to sleep through it because we were watching the soccer, so...
Yeah. Yes. Now, we are rolling along nicely here.
Yeah, Lucy just picked up.
You just said something pretty massive.
Yeah, we've got a little girl on the way.
Oh, mate! Congratulations,
Thank you.
Will.
Well, you and I are going to have something in common. Well, something more in common. Thank you, mate.
Some awesome unscripted radio.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, that sort of happened.
Oh, mate, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
that is terrific.
We're 21 weeks pregnant, so
and it's a girl.
Yeah, we know it's a girl.
Mate.
So yeah, towards the end of October.
I'm going to give you a hug. Can I give you a hug on air? I'm going to give you a hug. I'm coming over.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Coming over.
Thank you, mate.
That is excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. Well, not surprising, but it's
all happening here.
It's certainly surprising. Thanks, Luce. This in terms of the things that have happened on this program this morning. It's sort of in keeping with the morning.
When you said that, I just went, what did you say?
I could see your face. You are such a pro, though. You thought, I'm not sure he's meant to say that.
No, I was actually trying to give you some cover.
Yeah, you were. I could tell. I thought, you are too professional. I thought you
that's excellent.
Lucy started screaming in my ear as I said it. But yes, it's very exciting. Very exciting.
I heard Lucy through the glass.
The
supposedly soundproof glass. Oh, that's excellent, mate.
There have been so many times we've been talking about live on the air, what have you been doing on the weekend or where are you going today? And I've almost had that moment 1,000 times in the last 20 weeks. So
when you've accidentally said I was at Baby Bunting losing 6
that's
hours
right.
of my life.
Yeah, the amount of times I've to say, I've had to correct it's been a doctor's appointment. You do that old one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, when I was at the doctor's the other day, we had this funny chat about so-and-so.
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite a doctor, it's a very specialist one. But yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. So what's the due date?
October 23? 22?
So this is where you get your revenge on me because... Not once but twice, you've had to work through 2 fortnights worth of parental leave. So yeah,
yeah, that's right. That'll be you this
You're
time.
Looking for a
coming towards the end of the year.
Weeks.
Now
that's awesome.
I was trying to think.
Yeah, that totally slipped out, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God, we should get up at 3:15.
I know.
Who knows what we'll find out about Will's private life?
Yeah, when's the World Cup?
December.
Yeah. All right.
Well, you'll be up all night for it, which is terrific.
Works out all right, doesn't it?
That's right.
Can't claim credit for planning it. Yes.
Good having a daughter. Dads and daughters have a special thing. I mean, I'm not saying it's more special than having sons, but having Soph. And tonight she's my hot date for the MasterChef.
That's going to be really exciting.
Busy with the kids, so yeah.
Yeah,
no, it's a good thing.
You have to give me tips for the next, I don't know.
2 decades,
20 years.
I don't know if you would necessarily want tips from me.
I'll be getting counsel from you.
Yeah,
and thanks to the lovely texts that people sending through at the moment on the Automasters.
Speaking of lovely texts, have you had any from Alison saying, "Why don't you shut your damn mouth"?
I think I reckon she usually starts working at 8:30. So,
well, what a great day!
Yeah, it is a great day.
First the Socceroos, now this.
All right, how much longer of this program going to go? I don't know. I don't have my brain.
You should make her middle name Redmayne.
Oh, now there's an idea.
What about that?
Can I tell you?
Or Lucy says.
I've already tried to slip so many sports-related references through.
How about
Arnie?
My
wife's become pretty keen to it.
Arnie's a good girl's name.
Arnie. You don't think Graham will fly?
Graham Arnold Goodings.
All right, let's check traffic. Themis is in the building. He'll be joining us live on the 5AA Breakfast Studio in just a moment.
Thanks, Will. At Winvale, smash on the Golden Way near Grenfell Road. Heavy delays inbound there. In the city, Rundle Road closed between East Terrace and Decatable Terrace. That's due to the Illuminate Festival. Roadworks at Highgate today. That's for the intersection upgrade of Cross Road and Fullerton Road. And we're busy right now, South Road at Carrowta Park. Cameras, Duthie Street, Malvern, and Pym Street at Croydon Park. The flu vaccine is the best way to protect yourself and your family from severe illness from the flu. Speak to your GP or pharmacy to book a free flu vaccine before June 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
I'm Peter. I used to run half marathons, and then I got COVID. I spent 9 days in hospital, 7 on oxygen. And my lasting memory is laying in a hospital bed thinking I was going to die. Calling my friends with the little breath that I had, wondering if it was goodbye. Even though I was young, healthy and double vaxxed, COVID nearly killed me.
Double vaxxed isn't fully vaxxed. Book your third COVID shot now.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
What's on your bucket list? Writing a best-selling novel? Sailing around the Bahamas? Flying over the Antarctic? Before you plan a bucket list, plan your will with Donlan Lawyers. A will, power of attorney and advanced care directive speak for you when you can't, ensuring you and your loved ones are taken care of. For wills and estate planning, contact Donlan Lawyers. Visit donlanlawyers.com. Put it on your bucket list.
Now, a lot of kids stay home till their late 20s these days, and as much as you love them, this causes what the experts call little house syndrome.
You got all this to think about now, Will. Now, if you're irritable, tripping over laundry, your ears are ringing from TikToks, you've probably got LHS.
Well, thankfully, Alpha Industries have a cure. Kick them out into their own studio.
That's right, 100% Australian blue scope steel. Alpha Industries can deliver studios ready to go and give you the instant fix to your little house syndrome.
They can take up the bagpipes for all you care now because you've got your space back.
That's right, whether it's a granny flat, a she shed, an office or something even bigger, Alpha Industries can custom build it using Australian blue scope steel.
Alpha Industries have built garages, carports, verandas, industrial buildings, even airport hangars throughout SA for 37 years. So visit Alpha Industries, Glandore and Cavan.
If you have a personal alert system that relies on a landline and is connected to your NBN modem, it may not work during a power failure. Upgrade today for just $99. That's 75% off normal price. For more info, go to carealert.com.au.
G'day, Jared here. Let me tell you, nothing is going to stop the team at Wavell Mitsubishi from giving you incredible end of financial year deals. Yes, the new showroom on Goodwood Road is going through an amazing rebuild, but there's no way that's getting between you and a new Mitsubishi. So, enter via Goodwood Road and choose from the entire range on offer today. It's game on for end of financial year deals at Wavell Mitsubishi, opposite the showground, driven by Australian Motors, LVD 80.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
5AA Breakfast, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
14 minutes to 9. If you've got a special occasion to celebrate, whatever it might well be, Socceroos made the World Cup, might be that. The best place to go in town is 11. Themis and Callum have done a wonderful job. We spoke to them in their capacity with Sprout Kitchen previously, but Themis Crusaders is in the 5AA Breakfast studio with us this morning to talk about a big event that's coming up at 11. This sounds pretty fun. A partnership with Penfolds, no less.
It is indeed, but mate, first up, I feel like I'm separating, just ruining your party here. Congratulations.
Thank you,
I
mate.
know, it was quite a penalty shootout, wasn't it? The baby.
This early mornings, are you getting used to them already, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, we have been joking that I'll be the only parent that goes to bed before the baby. Yeah, going around.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you too, mate. I understand are in order.
Thank you.
You've gotten engaged.
I did. I got back from France yesterday. Told everyone we were engaged, and back in the studio to see you guys this morning.
So
coming out today on the show.
France is, not particularly romantic. You did pretty well there. That was good.
Yeah, no, we just lovely at a lovely winery in Champagne, and it was a beautiful spot to do it.
Yeah, that
would have been nice and warm too.
It was perfect. Come back here and it's freezing. Actually, it's not too bad this morning, but it wasn't great weather while we were away.
So, mate, we're just chatting off air. I haven't been into 11 yet, but everyone I know who's been in there raves about it. Says it's such a fantastic place.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really unique spot in the city as well, just off of Weymouth Street between Franklin and Weymouth, and we call it a little city oasis. We like to have a really fun, vibrant atmosphere. We like to do delicious food. We don't want to be known as a super fine dining restaurant. We just want good food, good service, good fun, the music up, and have a great night.
I always feel a bit wistful when I go to that part of town because it's where when I started at the Tizer in '92, there used to be the 3-story Tizer building out the back, but that whole area now behind the ANZ. It's like this little secret oasis, and
It
so
is.
many city workers there too. So it's a good buzzy part of town now.
It is, and there's a hotel that's probably, I don't know, about halfway through being built. It'll be finished by about about November next year, and it's going to open up that whole precinct, and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
So the dinner,
Yes.
21st of June, shortest day of the year actually. I know that because it's my father's birthday, and he brings it up every single time. The Penfolds Association is going to be fun because it's you guys' food with the best and most recognisable wine here in South Australia. So how's it all going to work?
Yeah, so basically it's a really unique opportunity because at the end of the day, most people think about Penfolds wines as you buy them, you stick them in your cellar and drink them in about 30 years' time, basically. And I think...
I've never managed to wait that long.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, at the end of the day, the way we drink wine has changed. And we want to drink it now and maybe drink one or two a few years later as well. And wineries like Penfolds, who have been known for cellaring their wines, are now starting to say, we'll drink our wines now as well. And we're really fortunate. We've got Zoe, who's the South Australian ambassador, coming down to take us through the wines as well. Cal and I will be there. It's 5 courses, 8 wines. We're doing, different vintages, different varieties, different regions around the state, all Penfolds wines. It is going to be a great night.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's not a single bad wine that those guys have ever made. Like, it's just astonishing. I went to this lunch a couple of years ago that Peter Gogo, the chief winemaker, was at, and he brought a few of his little private collections along, and it was just, I don't really get wine. I love it, but I can't describe it, and people say, oh, this is a bit tannic, or this is a bit bloody blah. But you just know when you're drinking something that unique. It's like a well-made car or something. You go, oh, this is different.
Exactly. No, I absolutely agree with you. It's balance and it's finesse and it's power from South Australia. They've got it all. And I suppose the really unique side of it is you really, to enjoy an entirely Penfolds night, you have to go to McGill Estate. And obviously they're a phenomenal restaurant and they do great wines there. And they don't often within South Australia take their wines anywhere else. So this is a unique opportunity to take 11 and Penfolds and bring them together.
Don't talk down the 11 part of this too. So you're going to have the best wine that's made in South Australia, some of the best food that's made in South Australia as well. That's going to be sensational. So you can buy tickets?
You can, yeah. They're all, jump onto the 11 website. It'll take you to Eventbrite and, buy a ticket, bring along a friend. It's actually doing okay now at the moment as well, which is unusual for events in SA. It's good to see tickets are selling as well because
there's a bit of pent-up post-COVID, isn't there, where people actually haven't really left the house properly for 2 years. I might go out and let my hair down a bit.
There's also a little bit of apprehension from people kind of going, I don't know if I'll buy a ticket to an event because I don't know if I'll be able to make it as well. There's that fear of getting COVID. But I think, South Aussies are starting to go, right, let's get back out there now, and that's what we want.
100%.
And I don't think I'm giving away too much. I've already done that this morning. We've got some tickets to give away. We'll be doing it a little bit later in the week. So
Awesome.
This sounds like something you'd like to go to, and I think everyone who, occupies the middle of the Venn diagram between being alive and having taste buds would like to go along to this sort of night. So we're going to be giving away those towards the end of the week. All the best with the event and with 11. Themis, great to have you in the studio, mate.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Good on you, mate.
9 to 9. John Blake with Behind Closed Doors coming up next.
Get in here. It's Sheeds. We don't have the time to mess around. We can't afford any more downtime, and we need a result. It's about trust, and for hydraulic hose repairs, Ryco 24/7 are the ones. They'll get to you wherever you are. Their vans are on the road with fully qualified repairers, and they are supported by that other great South Australian team, BL Shipway, who I've known for over 30 years. Call Ryco 24/7 on 133247 or visit ryco247.com.au.
Lots of memories in this home. This fist-shaped hole. He didn't like what I was wearing. This crack in the mirror. I don't remember much. But it still has bits of my hair in it.
Domestic violence is the #1 cause of homelessness for women and children. Don't make them choose between a violent home and the streets. Donate today at vinnies.org.au.
Now, if you're looking for a park, remember to always look for a U Park because all profits from U Park support our city.
When you park at U Park, you're really helping to keep our city clean. You're also helping to keep our parks and squares in pristine condition for all to enjoy.
Parking locally also helps support our city businesses and keeps our communities healthy.
Who knew parking your car could make such a positive impact on our city? By making the choice to park locally, you're also helping Adelaide to celebrate creativity and preserve our unique heritage.
Choose from 10 U Parks across Adelaide for convenient, affordable parking. Visit upark.com.au for locations and support our city.
Here at the Coffee Club, we're so obsessed with coffee, we're giving you 3 free coffees when you sign up to our rewards app. Yep, 3 free coffees, but only for a limited time at your local Coffee Club store. T's and C's apply. See in store for details.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
7 minutes to 9.
We're getting a mountain of texts here, and people are really touched by your news, Will. So many people.
They are lovely.
Dozens
I really
and
appreciate
dozens
them.
of messages. Pam Gowling, Andrew and Rosedale, Tessa, Kelly from Clapham, Jenny from Summerton Park, Scott from Robbery, Wendy, Kay from Golden Grove. I can't even find the top of them. There's just so many messages here, and everyone's sharing in your baby joy, mate.
Now, this is the beauty of this show is we often crowdsource questions for the people like the Premier or the Prime Minister. I will be crowdsourcing parental advice. Okay, so everyone who's texted in, just remember you're now all on the panel. And what do they say? It takes a village.
Yeah,
maybe it takes a talk radio audience.
When I mentioned baby bunting before, I'm just wondering how your fabled hatred of shopping is going to gel
can
with
I tell you?
It's like, because part of the sell job with those things is like, you look at, say, the high chair. And there's 9 different high chairs, one of which costs like $80, but then you can get the Italian $2,500 high chair, and part of the big sell is safety.
Yes.
So that might cost $2,000, but you wouldn't want your baby to get its head jammed in the armrest, would you? And if you really love your child, you'd be that'd be more sort of the path I'd be. But you can buy the other one; it's okay. It's all right. I mean, that's what you think of your baby.
That is our world at the moment. You are describing it to a T.
Oh, chilling flashbacks thinking about all of that stuff.
I spent our whole weekend was putting together furniture for spare rooms and places that haven't been used before and cleaning things out, and it was all that assembled.
Have you put up a freeze yet in the nursery? Have you done that sort of stuff?
The nursery we just started this weekend.
Have you got mobiles?
We got a bit. How many weeks have we got?
Have you got the little thing that you pull and
19
it plays,
weeks.
Bar Black Sheep?
No, we've been big stuff. It's all cots and
Actually, I've got some stuff in the shed. I might be able to unload onto you.
Amazing how many people say that.
Yeah, that's right.
Clearly not a lot of reusability.
Exactly.
All right, let's go behind closed doors.
You see, you don't do that for your first one.
No.
For your second one. So
Yeah.
That'll do. Pre-speared on high chair. Yeah, no worries. Do you even need a high chair? Just sit on the ground and eat. But no, number one gets the Rolls Royce treatment.
Yeah. Feels like that. All right, let's go behind closed doors. Thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, Interstate Freight Distribution, Warehousing and Local Adelaide Couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
And when we get behind closed
5AA Weekend Breakfast with Mike Keelan and Angie McBride.
Yes, here we are. Good morning, everybody, and good morning, Michael Keelan.
Right. Morning, Angie, and everybody. Beautiful day.
Yes, it is. And this morning on the show, we've got a great prize again, Mark. Ooh, that's that Husqvarna 120 Mark II chainsaw.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I love a chainsaw. Great to take with you when you go camping.
What would you do with a chainsaw when you're camping?
Oh, if you found some old logs, you can zing them up for a campfire and...
zing them up?
Yeah. Zing them up. That's a common expression where we live.
Really? Zing it up with a chainsaw?
Yeah. Just get some old logs and...
zing them up.
Zing them up.
There's nothing like camping, is there, Mark?
Oh, no, we love it.
Yes, the quietness and tranquility that you don't get in the city.
That's right, yeah.
And the person camping next to you fires up the chainsaw and starts zinging up some logs.
Oh, well, in most camping areas, you're not allowed to use chainsaws.
Is that why you don't go camping anymore?
Oh, yeah, we've been banned from all South Australian campsites.
Too much zinging?
Yeah, we're not allowed to zing up the old logs.
Anyway, we've got one of those marvellous Husqvarna 120 Mark II chainsaws to give away this morning to one of our callers, Michael.
Yeah, but don't take it camping.
No.
Excellent stuff.
Leon Biner is coming up after 9 o'clock today. Now, do we have a headline?
We do have a headline.
Did the headline change over the course of the morning?
Well, I ran out of time. I was going to try to change it to get a baby reference in there.
Oh, no, I'm at the Socceroos.
It might be a little bit self-indulgent to eclipse the Socceroos completely, but
Yeah. All right, let's.
I
do it.
reckon you did though.
Yeah.
Sensational. What a bombshell. We'll be back. Iceman Arnie terminates Peru with sub of the century.
Oh. What is it with this country and subs?
I know. These are the kind of subs we want. What about this? We've got 0.0% beer here to celebrate.
Does it open? What's happened here? Lucy
go.
and Sam are in the studio.
We would like to congratulate William
on
his
you.
exciting news, which no one knew about at all. And we always say, Will, how's your weekend? Anyway, there was absolutely no reference to
I
building,
hate talking about myself.
building
So
baby
this is
furniture.
it's over after this.
So,
We're getting it all out of
in
our system.
celebration, we're cheersing with non-alcoholic Heinekens
Yes.
that we just had. Cheers.
What a morning. Cheers. What a
So
start to the
congratulations.
day.
It's been a massive start to the week on
Yeah.
AA Brekkie today.
Thank you. It's a short week. You're
Here's
very
to the
kind.
Socceroos
You're all
and here's
very
to you,
lovely.
Will.
It's a good little team we've got here, and I appreciate it.
Good on you, mate.
All right, we still got more work to do, haven't we, Luce?
Yes, you got one more liner to go,
Okay.
and then we can go party at respectfully because it's only 9 a.m.
Yeah, of course, that's right.
Some of us have been up all night.
Yeah, some of us, it feels like it's about 5 p.m. This is great. If you know someone who's doing it tough and would benefit from receiving a Leader Computers Breeze 404 14-inch notebook, well, we want you to let us know, and maybe together with Leader Computers, we can help out. All you need to do is visit the 5AA win page and tell us in 25 words who should be awarded the Leader Computer and why. Leader Computers, of course, a national PC manufacturer, the largest 100% Australian PC brand. They're built right here in Adelaide too, which means you're supporting the local South Australian economy while also getting the best local service and support. So whether it's a friend or a school or maybe a sporting club you want to nominate, get onto 5AA.com.au and let us know. Google Leader Computers to find your closest Leader reseller.
Beautiful stuff.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much. You're wonderful people, and I appreciate all the lovely texts I've received as well from all of our excellent listeners as well. Stick around.
We'll be back tomorrow probably with fewer surprises. So who knows? Let's take it one day at a time.
That's right.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide.